All Wings Considered is brought to you by Luxury Foods.
Excuse me, do you have any luxury foods?
Remember, if it's not luxury food, it's just food. Now, here's Ben and Jason.
Hey everybody! Welcome to hopefully another exciting episode of All Wings Considered. Sorry about the technical problems. Hopefully some of you were able to follow us over to the new URL. YouTube is confusing and I'm stupid, so
We're both
that makes
stupid.
for an exciting mix.
Yep.
We're not entirely sure what happened. Our OBS, we started at 7 and our OBS was just dropping frames like crazy. We did all the network tests, everything seemed fine. I rebooted and then Windows decided it needed to update, and yeah, it's the story of our life.
Yes.
But
it was a very frantic few moments.
which is frustrating because we had everything
Yes.
perfectly arranged for this one.
Smooth.
Normally I spend a little bit of time in the morning. Yeah, usually it's like I work in the day and then I get all this stuff ready right before. And this time everything was smooth and ready and the best laid plans. And now everything's a little bit crazy, but we're getting our bearings, and welcome!
Yes, catching up.
We did not introduce ourselves. I am Ben Loaf-Lesnick, and
I am Jason Dundradal McHale. We are off our center a little bit because of that, but we'll be all right.
yes, in fact, your camera is off-center if you want to...
Oh, no.
yeah.
It is.
Get rid of my arm.
Get rid of your arm. I don't want to see your arm.
Our most professional show yet.
Here, I'll just cheat, and I learned last time, even though we don't want to see the door. Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Okay.
So, how's life other than
Other than last 5
other than
minutes?
all this chaos?
It's pretty good. You know, we've had some beautiful weather in Washington, D.C. lately. It's been fun. I last week went out and did a nice 10-mile walk around the city. Yes, eject and restart is kind of... Ejection would have been
That is pretty much what we did.
There was like an ejection, and then there was, a few moments where we thought we hadn't turned off the safety, and the computer wasn't operating as expected, so it got nervous.
We're all fine
Yes.
now. Had a little radiation leak.
Yes.
I'm fine now. How are you?
Good. Everybody's good. Yep. But yeah, did that. I discovered East Potomac Park by accident. Never knew it was there. Suddenly kept walking and was like, why am I not at the waterfront? But yeah, it's been good. What else? We finished Halt and Catch Fire Season 2 on Tuesday.
Yeah, we moved on to Season 3.
Yes, we moved into Season 3 where they've invented antivirus and been jerks to each other. And then I spent a lot of the weekend playing Steel Division 2. Yes, but we can get. How have you been doing, sir, besides this?
Besides this, I'm having a fantastic... Well, I'm not... It's a mix of things. There have been some low times and up times. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yes.
But I finished my taxes, which feels amazing, finally.
Yes, you did. Yes.
Because I am one of those people who puts something off until the last minute. A jerk. So...
Never.
And I dread it. I work up these insane things in my head. Like, never a problem, but by the time April runs out, I've had like 2 months of like living on stomach. I was thinking, oh my god, the government's gonna take away my... What do I even have?
You're thinking about my old taxes when I was just a teacher, and I was like, I don't want to do this because I'm going to owe thousands.
What's your fault for having like 17 jobs at once?
Yes, that's our education system's fault for switching to adjuncts instead of full-time professors and forcing us out of the thing. Yeah, but yeah,
So we've got a very big show for you tonight.
really big shoe.
I knew that was happening.
You have to say that. You have to. And what's our first thing? Did you have those my silly slides? We can see some silly quick pictures of World War II.
Yes,
for
I
the
can.
people.
I can. Yeah, I know everyone wants to go right into World War II.
Yes, that's true.
You wrote the
Hold on.
after-
You got to say afterburner, so I know it's coming.
Whoosh.
Yeah.
All right, let me bring up your
silly-
Steel Division slides.
Oh my god,
All right.
what have you done to the poor pictures?
There's a picture she sent me.
Oh, really? Why did I do such a crappy job? That's weird. The grass looks weirder on that. But yeah, so...
What are we looking at here?
Oh, what are we looking at? We're looking at... That's a Panther and a Panzer IV advancing through some wrecked T-34s on one of the battles I played that I was really excited about.
What game is this?
Oh, Steel Division 2. Sorry, it's from Eugen. They're the guys who make war games and all of those, and this is their second in the Steel Division series. This one moves... The first one was in Normandy, because you always have to have a Normandy game. And then this one is actually on the Eastern Front, which is really cool. They've made some great advancements in the maps and how everything looks. And everything is absolutely beautiful. But we don't need to look at this one anymore. The grass does not look that good, that one. It looks amazing on my machine. I don't know why it looks so... I must have done a crappy job.
Well, here I can...
Yeah, and I love, so they've added cool things like the black smoke. Those are all wrecked vehicles and tanks.
I should say, I wanted to do this because every week you tell me you're playing Steel Division 4, and that just goes like, okay, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's a real-time strategy game, but there's no base building. You just get a set income over periods of time that you're allowed to deploy units from the back, the rear, and they either drive up the road to the front in the action and stuff. But I try to get a whole bunch of different ones. So, like, yeah, that's the site where the previous picture was those black plumes in the center of the 2 T-34s I had previously burned up. And I think I had some other ones just about the map. Yeah, that was the map I was playing on that I was very happy about with all the cool terrain and stuff.
It looks pretty cool, and
Yes.
this is coming from someone who considers Civilization 2 to be the new one.
Yes. Yeah, no, this is like there's not a steep learning curve, but you have to kind of learn what does what. It's kind of the classic Command and Conquer, what counters what, but except it's real life, Like, don't drive your truck in front of a King Tiger because it's going to die.
That is good advice.
Yeah. Oh, I love this one. This is a nice Russian village with some German armored vehicles in there. And then the next shot is after a Katyusha strike, where the 2 tanks are now burning and the other one is panicking and driving through the rear. But yeah, I was like looking for screenshots. I'm like, what's something cool I did? And then I was like, oh, the Katyusha strike.
I blew up a bunch of tanks.
Yeah, I did think before and
Asterisks.
after. But I forgot to then get like the round shooting off. Yep. I got this. This is for our friend Dark Sentinel. I thought he would enjoy that. It's a T-34 and ISU 152. The Cat Killer. It's a gigantic Russian self-propelled gun that fired a 152 millimeter round. So
Has the same nickname as Colonel Blair.
yeah, you like how I did that? Which also
I feel like I did that.
Yeah, I was thinking more about the Commandos with Cat Killers, but that's okay. We were both on the same track, just different places. And I think there's maybe one more where I spent way too much time trying to capture.
Oh, an
that
ion
plane.
cannon strike.
Yes, where I tried to catch. I believe that's a Stuka that I had shot down that is burning and about to crash. That I spent way too much time trying to find the coolest angle, and clearly I did not do my best. But yes, that's what I've been spending. The beta just closed. They have another beta this weekend that I'm going to play, so it doesn't come out till next month.
Well, I have to admit, this is in no way
Yes.
explained to me what Steel Division is, but it looks cool.
Like
There's no, where's the UI? Do you just...
So one of the cool things about it is these are the game allows you to play replays of your own games.
Oh, okay.
So if you play like multiplayer and you play against somebody who's really, really good, and you're like, well, how did they do that? What were they doing? You can replay the game, and it will show you both sides. So you can turn their units on, their units off, and allows you to kind of learn that way. And I'm watching one of my replays right in that and taking these pictures.
Okay.
So that's why there's no UI at all. Yeah, it's like your kind of I don't want to say standard, but it's very similar to your classic RTS UI.
All right, well, next week I want to see the UI. So
I will do that. I will take some UI pictures for you this weekend. But yes, that's what I spent way too much time this weekend doing.
All right, well, here in Afterburner Slideshow, we share all sorts of Wing Commander nonsense that has sort of randomly passed through our head, and
yes,
boy, do we have some more this week. As with before, we're trying to keep it 2.5 hours instead of
and we're not
4.5 hours.
We're not counting the slight technical detail.
Okay, yeah,
that's
we're counting from 7:10 instead of
yes, that's totally correct. I'm watching that clock right there on the screen in front of me that says 13 minutes.
I would have felt really bad if I had spent all that time doing the luxury food ad and then we couldn't stream.
Yeah, I forgot the Great Poupon, though. That was silly of me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did the Great Poupon joke in that audio, so we're good.
Oh, excellent, sir. Excellent.
So last week, one of those producer call-out things I called out was I noticed during the show that Admiral Tolwyn's sprite in, and if you call it a sprite, talking head in Wing Commander 2 had a set of ribbons that you could see. Most of the Wing Commander 2 talking heads are a little bit higher, so you don't see the folks' medals or anything. And we were talking about ribbons last week, and I was like, oh, I wonder if those mean anything. So, without further ado, here's the Admiral Tolwyn ribbon slideshow.
Yeah.
Ah! So there you see, bottom right of Sir Geoffrey is there's 5 visible ribbons basically, and the 2 that are cut off seem to be identical to 2 others. And I was wondering, are these ribbons? Did they just take the art from Wing Commander 1? Do they have some special meaning? And going back and comparing them to the material we put together for the show last week, Here's Blair's ribbons. Indeed, 3 of them are from Wing Commander 1. He had, and it ends up being absolutely perfect. But he's wearing a 10 missions ribbon.
Okay.
He's wearing a Raptor qualification.
That makes sense.
That does make sense.
Since, his big action before that was at the second McCall action.
In 2639, he fights the McAuliffe ambush, and he leads these Raptors to... or not McAuliffe ambush, the Enyo engagement.
Yes.
Also called McAuliffe engagement occasionally.
Yes.
By certain manuals. But anyway, he leads these squadrons of Raptors to lay mines in the face of a Karathi fleet, and they ambush the ambushers, and it's part of Talwyn's Star Rising.
Yep.
So it makes sense that you would have a Raptor qualification ribbon, although it's total coincidence, because obviously this story was written well before anyone had any thought of that being part of its backstory. And the third one, you're also going to say it's perfect. It's the Scimitar Fighter Qualification Ribbon.
Yes, that is
very
good.
My suspicion is that is intentional just to show how old he is. But since Wing Commander 2 happened, they went on and did Wing Commander Academy episode where he actually goes out and leads a battle flying a scimitar. So he should have received that ribbon.
Yep, makes sense.
And the 2 in the center are not from Wing Commander 1. They're completely original to... this art, so they must be other battles or campaigns or medals or something.
It's his Wildcat qualification ribbon, right, of course?
Yeah, I wonder how you've been fighting this war for 30 years. How do you decide which qualification ribbons you wear?
Well, I have a funny feeling that in reality you wouldn't be wearing those, right? Or
maybe he's very proud of those particular 2 engagements.
Or he would just have, a chessboard that was like sometimes you see those guys, and women who've been in service a long time, those massive ribbon boards. So you can tell they've done a lot of stuff.
So to follow up on that, I just wanted to show you his ribbons in Wing Commander 3 and 4.
Those are very colorful.
Which, in an unrelated project, I have actually been going through and...
go ahead.
They look kind of odd because the color correction on this slide is weird.
Oh, because I was going to ask, is this about to turn into some weird thing connecting Super Wing Commander? Because those are kind of getting the lower right corner. The colors are moving towards that.
They do look super wingy. Yes, one thing we noticed with the Wing Commander 3 ribbons is, for the most part, they are just actual off-the-shelf... actual American military ribbons.
Yeah.
Talwyn has a few that are specifically prop ribbons. There's a company that does military-ish ribbons that I tracked down. But a bunch of these, there's like a Vietnam service ribbon in there, the Air Force something or other. It's all stuff that does not necessarily make sense. It's being used to represent something else in Wing Commander. But here, I'll show you the spreadsheet I've been working on.
Of course, I was going to say, of course, because that looks like a bronze star or something in there.
So I've been going through, and for Wing Commander 3 you can basically only do it with behind the scenes photography because it's too low resolution in the actual game. But we've managed to go through and figure out what all the different ribbons people wear are, what the real ones are. And I've got a beautiful spreadsheet. It's the most beautiful spreadsheet I've ever made.
Are you sure? That's a big statement to make from you.
Well, I have some beautiful spreadsheets. So I figured follow Talwyn. You can use the DVD version to get some pretty good shots of his ribbons in Wing Commander 4, which are different.
Yep.
And here are the Wing Commander 4 ribbons. We also noticed that very few characters in Wing Commander 4 have ribbons. It's Talwyn, Paulson, Eisen, Blair, and Seether. And Seether actually has the same ribbons as Blair, but worn in reverse.
Interesting.
And there's a random senator with a bunch of them in the Senate scene at the start.
Now have you started to look at them? Because I feel like I know the first one in Blair's. That's like a campaign or victory ribbon?
Wing Commander 4, there's all sorts of random American ribbons.
Okay.
And I have it, but not here.
Yeah, because I see Captain Eisen has that's a Silver Star ribbon and then a Navy Cross ribbon. The ones on the right, those 2 blue ones.
Yeah. Every single one in Wing Commander 4 is a real military ribbon. And, of course, I did Prophecy, too, just for the heck of it.
We have to do that now.
I'm going to talk about Cobalt 60 a little bit later.
So. Again?
Again! There's more to talk about with Cobalt 60.
Something came in the mail.
Something came in the mail, yes.
Yeah, something came in the mail.
So, that was our follow-up on ribbons. Tracking down my realization during the show from last week. And somehow we have more people at the end of this segment than we started with. My gosh.
That's the goodness.
And I think you have a follow-up from last week, too.
Yes, we have another follow-up. This having to do with Casey's Medal of Honor. I have a friend who is very, very, very into ODMs, or order decorations and medals, and I pass this along to him.
That sounds like a fetish, by the way.
Yes. Well, for him, he would see your spreadsheet and he would immediately start spitting out what all those ribbons were before you even ask them, hey, what are these? Because I've gone places with him and he'll just start reading them off walls, and I'm like, what are you talking about? But I asked my good friend Mark, and I said, hey, does this seem familiar to you at all? Does this, because he knows about all the countries of the world and all of their awards, and he's like, well, what is this from? Like, to me, this either looks like costume or maybe some type of organization, like, the, oh my god, the Lions Club or something, And I said, no, it's from this video game. And he looked into it some more, and he says it appears to be, he's 99% sure it's just costume jewelry, unfortunately. So no real heritage there. It's just, it looks pretty.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, that means we can't go out and buy some poor soldier's former
Well, we could probably buy a bunch
medal.
of those once we figure out what it's supposed to be.
I guess now that I look at it, is that the Confed star in the center with Earth? It may be a molded prop.
I don't know. Part of me thinks that the background is some type of Russian or Warsaw Pact thing with like the laurels.
Yeah.
And that, But yeah, Mark said he didn't recognize it at all. He just thought the design was not what the military would do. So.
Well, next up, something I just happened to see on Twitter the other day, posted by a user @VaultTechie, and someone I did not know, but just happened to be 3D printing Wing Commander ships, and I thought the pictures were cool, so I thought I'd share them.
Yeah.
He's doing an Excalibur, and this tech, I don't think in 3D, so I could never do this, but man, it looks crazy.
Yeah.
It looks like something out of Blade Runner, this process, but...
It's so weird.
Yeah, what are those things that are all over the 3D thing? See if anybody in chat knows.
I feel like that's just like extra you have to snap off, kind of.
I guess so. I've never done a 3D print myself. I've had folks who've given me 3D stuff and it's amazing. And yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't get it. Or maybe it's just how he designed you have to design the program for it. Maybe he just did the tops and not the bottoms or something. I don't know.
Well,
help us.
Next up, there is something slightly Wing Commandery that you can buy new this week, sort of, kind of.
That was convincing.
Well, it's not very exciting.
No, it's not. We know.
I was excited. No one else was, but I'm still going to talk about it. So if everybody knows this story, presumably...
The Warrior King!
The Warrior King. It was the most bizarre crossover in television history.
Yes, and I don't think that's exaggerated at all.
It's not, and there have been some bizarre crossovers, but this one is way up there. For whatever reason, and however, Universal and USA managed to have all four of their kids' cartoons, 3 of which were based on games, 1 was based on a comic that was in their Saturday morning block in late 96. Yeah. They managed to have a crossover, somehow, between Wing Commander, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and a show called Savage Dragon. And the crossover was that this fellow who you see sitting in back of Blair here is the Warrior King, and he's voiced by Michael Dorn from Star Trek. Whoa. And he travels from one of the shows to the others searching for this magic orb, which of course doesn't seem very Wing Commandery at all. But each show takes him in whatever that direction is. So when he's in Street Fighter, he's on Earth and he's fighting the Street Fighters for it. In Mortal Kombat, the orb has something to the Mortal Kombat. It's like impacting the... one of the Mortal Kombat characters is like a weather god or something. I don't know
Raiden?
Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Raiden.
I think it's
yes,
Raiden,
okay.
right? With that? Yeah.
Yes,
the lightning,
and the orb is ruining his lightning powers somehow, so they have to get rid of the orb, and so on, which is insane.
Yep.
Also, between the point in animation commissioning this weird thing and actually showing it on TV, USA got out of the animation market entirely. They knew there was not going to be another season of any of these shows, and there was no reason to bother promoting them in any way. So there was no warning of this, except that if you got up at 11:30, or let's face it, 11:15, to tape Wing Commander that morning, you found that for some reason Mortal Kombat was on instead, because they changed the order to make it make sense. It starts in Street Fighter and ends in Wing Commander. So anyway, that was all just a lead up to the fact that The episode that starts it off, the Street Fighter episode, is now available for sale digitally on Amazon Prime, or for free if you have Amazon Prime.
Oh, well, hey.
So you have Amazon's video service, you can now buy that specific episode of Street Fighter, along with the entire 26-episode Street Fighter series, which they've renamed Street Fighter 2 the series, which was not what it was called originally. It was called
Street Fighter the series?
Street Fighter. This one says Soul Powers. I think that's just the design.
Okay.
Anyway,
is that a VHS box, sir?
no, that's an early DVD box. It's one of those kids ones that's like white plastic.
Oh, I got you. One of the really, really old ones.
So, and you know, obviously, if you don't care about Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, you would obviously not super be interested in this. But the episode of Street Fighter, at the very least, starts with a minute-long scene that starts off his journey to the world of Wing Commander. And so I'm going to share that with us right now.
That's what we need.
It looks like the animation style of the Academy. And, no, this is not Street Fighter in any way. This is, this is something weird. He's the Warrior King, which is the Space King of Warriors World.
To the corruption of the hated wizards.
And in Wing Commander Academy, I think he mentions that the hated wizards caused his problems. I guess these are the hated wizards. He acts like he has a lot more backstory than he does. Will Menudo, I can pronounce it, from who did Exo Squad, created the character and the line.
You do not forsake
pretty neat.
You
a lot of the
are
creative staff
protecting the orb that sustains our world. Without the power of the orb to
Look, there's
sustain
the
Warrior's
orb.
world,
That's where the orb came from.
That's
forced
what
to
we care
leave.
about, right?
Have you ever seen that one crazy kind of out there episode of Wing Commander Academy
for you to return.
where the orb
You
came
are now
from?
bound together and shall always be drawn one to the other. Now go. Step into this chasm of time and space. Go and return to us.
Very 80s fighting. Look, he's got more of an anime look in his face in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
He,
The video's a tad loud. Roger.
There we go. Fighting the hated wizards.
He just carries this orb around in his hand.
So the orb's gonna get away from him.
Oh, I get that, because, I mean, you can't just have a magic orb in your hand.
And the orb eventually falls to the planet Dioscuri, where it saves that world from a star that's too bright and lets the Dioscurians. Yeah. So that happened.
Yep. All right then. Well, that was a thing.
Was a thing.
That was good.
Trillian Mike asked where all the Street Fighters are. So after that scene, he then goes to the world of Street Fighter and he has a brief romance with the lady with the big legs, the kicking lady.
Oh, the Russian
Chun-Li?
lady.
Is it Chun-Li?
I thought it was
Chun-Li.
Sonya.
No, it's Mortal Kombat.
What's the difference?
By the way, of the 4 shows, Mortal Kombat was clearly the one with the most creative integrity because you don't even have Michael Dorn. You just see him in shadow at the end of the episode chasing the orb. So they were like, oh, we'll put the orb in our show, but we're not going any further than that.
Oh, gee. They wanted to maintain the purity of the Mortal Kombat canon. I'm sure, you know. Yeah.
So the next thing I wanted to bring up was something we were talking about on Discord the other day.
Yes.
Which is a Wing Commander project that did not make it, which is called Hazardous Duty, which was developed shortly after Wing Commander Prophecy. Basically, after Wing Commander Prophecy, the team that remade it, Origin, was still trying to figure out what they were going to do next, and they put together a prototype for a RTS game. They pitched all the, Privateer Online, Privateer 3. They had all these, like...
Every niche that was kind of there that you were trying to get a hold of
Trying to get there. So, one of these projects, and basically the process was that you would have to pitch these to Electronic Arts, and Electronic Arts would have to say, okay, that's worth $3 million. We'll give that to you, and you go make it. Unfortunately, it did not work out in any of these cases. But one of the projects they worked on was something called Hazardous Duty, which was a Wing Commander... first-person shooter. First-person shooters were huge at the time. In fact, Prophecy versus Quake 2 really hurt Prophecy because they came out within weeks of each other.
Yeah, I remember
all sorts of stuff like that. So they wanted to do a Wing Commander first-person shooter, and so they prototyped in-house. They took the Quake engine, the original Quake engine, and they did a prototype with, changing the textures, making a little level. Supposedly by the end of this process, they were having full-on death matches between Confed Marines and Kilrathi, but very, very early. And they pitched this to EA as, hey, why not fund this and we'll make a full game? And EA said no. Yeah. What we have here is, as preserved by Binky from Origin, the trailer that they created for Hazardous Duty, which is a 5-minute... basically gameplay, and it's edited together with how they would like cutscenes to work. Because the idea was, you take this Wing Commander, you take a couple aspects from Wing Commander, the cutscenes, which first-person shooter games did not really have at the time. This was before Half-Life, and also the idea of ordering wingmen around. So you would have, AI wingmen in your Marine squad who you could order around. None of that was actually developed. This is all a cut-together trailer. But
I don't even think
here
you
we go.
See that till later.
It's going to appear right there.
Oh, and I was...
No, I just noticed there was no video. There we go.
Significant dates in entertainment history.
Turn that one down, too. And, this is like a jokey, internal, hey, like us, sort of a thing. Like us and give us money.
Aren't we witty?
I mean, it's almost like how you do Kickstarter for a game today, but it's inside a company. EA had all these independent studios that would have to pitch projects, and unfortunately, EA was much more interested in whatever Westwood wanted to do than Origin at this point. Yeah. You may also recognize the name if you're familiar with George Oldzia's various Wing Commander music tracks.
Is the jazz band still playing? Is it? Oh, Michael said that.
Shouldn't be.
Let's see. I don't think so. I didn't think so either.
No, I think it's.
I think that's just the.
It's just the
wonderful music in this, apparently. Yes, I say we have had a lot of jazz today. We're jazzing it up. We're not even into the jazz. And this is cool, right? Because that's a bit from the tower. That's from Wing Commander 4, correct?
Yeah. So the little 3D meshes are from Wing Commander 4. This one's from Prophecy.
Yeah.
And it's probably just generic assets for the Marine. But they put all this stuff together to show how it would work.
Engage any non-friendly forces only as a last resort. Highest priority.
And with this cutscene, this was rendered for Wing Commander 4, and they repurposed it for this video. You're gonna be very disappointed when you see the actual game,
it's really...
Quake 1 was nowhere near as good as your memory says.
No.
Because I go into my mind and Quake, the original Quake, it was like this amazing realistic hellscape, and really what I'm remembering is the fact that I could look up and down, and that seemed amazing at the time.
Which wasn't anything big. Marathon had done that years before. That's just for you, Keenan. It's just for you right there. But
what is Marathon? Some kind of Halo?
Yes, that's exactly it. That was a weird death, that gentleman. Look at all those TVs. Mostly I remember, I feel like a Quake is just the brownness of the color scheme.
Brown, yeah.
Yeah, I just remember the nail gun you could lose on the screen because it was that brown color, the same as most of the levels. And then was it Quake or Quake 2 where they added the grappling hook?
I don't remember the grappling hook. That may have been 3.
No, I don't think it was 3. I feel like that was...
Quake 2 was the one that was sort of almost a story, because you were landing on the you were having a amphibious assault on the Strogos planet.
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
I liked that one. I still like the idea of Quake with lore, and no one else in the world does, so here we are.
Oh, maybe that would, I know the mods had it, Capsule Flight, Team Fortress had, but wasn't it default in one of the games? Maybe it was in 3 that it became standard.
Maybe.
Look at that backpack he dropped.
That's what it was like back then. People dropped backpacks and 9-inch nails boxes and so on.
That's right. And then you gotta love it that the textures, you can tell how large they are because they cover the entire area at times. Like that room that had the same texture on the walls and the ceiling and the floor.
God, I wish we could find this prototype, though. I would enjoy the heck out of trying to get this to run today. We could do Wing Commander death matches, I guess.
I imagine this would not... We would probably be...
Us, though?
Yeah, it's true. And then we would try to see what random things we could get away with and do with the game engine and...
Yeah, let me give it to, the standoff guys, and they'd, turn it into...
Yeah, or we'd give it to the modding chat guys. Now, I guess they...
So see, that hangar was supposed to be a hangar, and you went there and you get a cutscene, and you see the end of the level.
Yeah.
And here's our features. You'd have a whole squad of troops.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Would have been cool at the time, I guess. Although
It probably would have been.
I can imagine how it wouldn't work more than I can imagine how it would.
Because, one of the great concerns you have in Wing Commander is that your wingmen like to shoot through you a lot,
That does seem to happen quite
And
often.
I can vouch that in Marathon 2, they first added NPCs with guns, and they wouldn't shoot you that often, but then in Marathon Infinity, they gave them stronger weapons, and they had a much better habit of hitting you. And they would get annoyed, and they would just murder you if you shot them. Which is what you're supposed to do to Bob, so what is happening now?
By the way, another aspect of the follow-up to Wing Commander 4 was that they figured out that Decker was one of the most popular characters, and they were looking for a project for Decker specifically. Decker, Maniac, and Rollins had high Q scores or something.
I always hated Rollins.
Yeah, but you love to hate him, I think, was the...
Yeah, he was like that annoying, like when you need somebody to hate on, like he's the guy that you're like, I don't feel about hating on him because it's Rollins.
So that was Hazardous Duty, a Wing Commander game that never was, and...
Maybe will be one day.
Maybe again someday. So
if you unleash it.
Yes, if you have a copy of that out there, we would love to share it. I don't think Electronic Arts would care anymore.
Well, I imagine they'd think we owned that. They'd probably disown it.
Is this Star Wars?
No.
So, of course, the other huge news that is what everybody in the world is talking about. This thing.
Hey, it's a lifesaver in space.
So it is pretty amazing that
science.
We pointed, 9 million telescopes in the right place and managed to get the first photograph of a black hole, or image of a black hole, and it's everywhere on the internet right now, and everybody is talking black holes. Black holes.
Black holes.
So we figured we should go through and show a couple of
Wing
Commander-y things. Where do black holes appear in the Wing Commander universe? So,
well, where do they appear?
Where do they appear? Okay.
Yeah, we didn't do that well. We should have worked on that a little bit, huh?
The big black hole that...
The biggest hole in our universe is this one.
There's a lot of holes in our universe.
Yes. This is the best.
So black holes do form an important part of the cosmos of the Wing Commander universe because the backstory, the lore behind jump drives is, and I think they'd explain it this, imagine like a sheet of saran wrap and you drop gravity wells in it and they pull it down and make it closer to jump from one to the other. That's what and jump points lead from one to the other. Yeah. We should do that experiment. Like we're like a kids program. Producer.
What? Oh,
producer. Jump theory thing. I remember that.
I thought you wanted to actually build, not just the jump drive.
No,
I thought you were going to test physics all of a sudden. Next, we're trying to punch through.
We'll do the actual saran wrap and drop marbles in it.
Well, that doesn't seem as cool. I think we should go for real space-time penetration here.
So anyway, the bulk of the most massive gravity objects in the universe are black holes, quasars, so on. So they are important to the cosmological formation of the Wing Commander universe. Yes. And we first hear about that in Wing Commander 2. I don't know if you guys remember, a couple weeks back we were talking about Siobhan Beeman's references from Wing Commander 2, including the big old Cambridge. So this is the source for why there is a black hole in the Enigma sector in Wing Commander 2.
Oh, here we go.
I got a picture of it. This is a suspected location of a black hole, which is the image they had for them in this old book.
Interesting. Thank you. I like how this book is going to right back where it was for the previous month that there's moved. Good. Back where it belongs.
So Wing Commander 2 has a conversation. This picture is from the Wing Commander Universe map that Captain Johnny did and was included in Wing Commander Prophecy. Mm-hmm. But there's a conversation in Wing Commander 2 that starts off all this in at least players' heads, where Angel is saying, "The Enigma sector must have some unique properties, Maverick."
Are we doing this normal?
Yeah, you want to do this? Yeah.
Yes.
The Enigma sector has some unique properties, Maverick. In other sectors, a ship can only jump from one star system to the next. But here in Enigma, it is possible to cross the entire sector in a single jump.
Does this have anything to do with the black hole in the Enigma system?
Our astrophysicists are certain there is some connection, but regardless of the cause, the strategic value of Enigma is tremendous. Boy, if you're just tuning in, this is a weird show.
Yeah, because normally there's other people on the screen masking us.
So the next big appearance of a black hole in the Wing Commander universe is right here. Gar's Emporium.
Gars! Remember, you can get guns at Gars.
So the novel
Gars.
Action Stations from 1998 introduces this sort of black market trading post that is in a star system called Black Hole System 299.
Very clever.
And it's 2 jumps behind Kilrathi lines, and because there is a black hole in the star system, the jumps are unpredictable.
Yeah.
And it's this like container ship surrounded by visitors that's like just off the event horizon of the black hole.
Yep.
It's dangerous to go there, so you can go there and life is cheap, you can buy whatever you want, you typical sci-fi
Living on the edge, the
Mos Eisley type place.
Yep.
I did this advertisement for Gars for
Gars, where you can get guns.
just gonna stop saying that now.
Gars at guns. Guns at Gars. Well, I just made sure every time you say it.
So I did this for the manual of Wing Commander Arena Star Soldier way back when. And actually, the cutest thing about Action Stations, which I never picked up on before until I was looking at black holes just yesterday, is that there are 2 scenes. There's one scene where the Confederation mentions that it's Navy rule that a ship cannot travel to a black hole system unless it's in hot pursuit of an enemy.
Okay.
Because it's so dangerous.
Yep.
And then there's another scene where the Kilrathi are talking, and they're like, oh, we didn't send a ship to explore this area because of the black hole system, and we're prevented from doing that. So both navies have this as just standard operating practice. They don't go to black hole systems. So that's why this formed there and so on.
Sounds like they lost some important expeditions in the past, and they're careful now.
So the other appearances of black hole is in 2 appearances in the Wing Commander movie, the Charybdis Quasar. Now, scientifically, it is believed that quasars have black holes at their center, and Wing Commanderically, that's also true. The Wing Commander movie novelization starts off with the radar officer who you see going to take a whiz at the start of the movie, looking and noticing the black hole at the center of the quasar. So here's the Charybdis Quasar, which is, of course, a big part of the Wing Commander movie's formation. And here is the quasar from the Loki system in Wing Commander 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I covered all my bases.
You did. I looked at it, I'm like, wait a minute, I forgot about that one. And then...
But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, what about Scylla, the other weird anomaly from
isn't Scylla a black hole?
Scylla is not a black hole.
Oh.
Here's Scylla, the weird object in the Sol system that they jump at the start of the Wing Commander movie. It's not a black hole, but the little physics paper in the Confederation Handbook describes it as being like a black hole in reverse. So it's pushing particles out.
So like a white hole?
I guess, or a white blast. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But
that's what they're right. Isn't that the theoretical thing that the black it comes out the other or whatever? Enough about holes.
So, and it also goes on to imply that they believe it may have been built by the Steltex, which is neat lore that never went anywhere.
Gotta love that. Remember when we used to just beat ourselves to death over the Steltech and Mantu? We'd be like, oh, the advanced civilizations. We need to hear about them. Nothing ever happened.
So we should do a segment on non-Kilrathi alien races, because there's a bunch that are mentioned and there's some debate to be had.
I would say we maybe put that off until after we get through actions.
Okay, we'll get action.
Because I was thinking, what in that one because that introduces a bunch of them, right? Because that's where they introduce a bunch of them at.
Action Stations is a bunch. There's a bunch in Fleet Action.
No, where?
Oh,
where do they meet them in Action Stations?
At Gars Emporium. Okay, I see what you're doing here.
Gars! You can get guns at Gars. I like that. Thank you.
Look. New slideshow.
But that's a good idea. Michael, that's a good one for down the line. That Kilrathi.
So this is the colored versions of the Ace pilots from the Wing Commander 1 Claw Marks manual. The Japanese Super Famicom version it has these redrawn colorized versions, in case you're ever wondering what they look like in color, because they're just sketches in Wing Commander and Claw Marks. So I think I was talking to Resurrected Hobbyist on Discord, and he was posting some like different colorized versions of the original art that he was doing for his miniatures game he's making. So I dug these out, and can you identify these guys?
I cannot off the top. I saw that you even wrote it down too, and I was like, I should have been looking more. No, I don't recognize that one. Although I do have a question. What do you think is going on with the hole, like in his helmet near his ear?
What, like
that right there? Like, see, it's like a weird door.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
That was like
it's actually drawn differently in the original version. The circle it looks more like a hatch here, but I think it's like cross hatched or something in the
okay.
version. So I don't know why the Japanese artist drew it differently here, but it does kind of stand out. It looks like a spaceship hatch.
Yeah, it is. It's just really weird. I love the top of the helmet though. That's very aggressive.
Yeah, and they reused that several times. The physical Karathi helmets in Wing Commander 3, the props they made have that cute little ears.
Yeah, the swept back kind of.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, this is Barak Starkiller, the Salty Ace.
That is no, that's Deathstroke.
Daka Deathstroke, yes.
Yeah, okay. I remember that one. I don't remember that guy. I don't remember one looking so clean.
He looks very depressed, actually, in this version. He's fearsome in the PC one. In fact, Pix from Pix's Origin Adventures pointed out on Twitter when I posted these that the artist who redrew these removed the teeth, essentially. They defanged the Kilrathi.
Yeah, there's like 2 small spaces there, but not any actual fangs.
So, of course, this is Marcus the Philosopher. No, this is Kaja the Fang.
Kaja the Fang without his fangs.
Grant Ace. Yeah, no fangs.
I should have studied more today.
Okay, who's this?
That...
It's the only other one.
Coxia or Caxia? Am I thinking of somebody else?
I definitely, or maybe no one. This is Backtosh. No, Backtosh Redclaw. Okay.
Who am I thinking? Oh, I'm thinking of the clan name. The
Koksky, the Narkoksky.
Yes,
but he's Narkaranka.
Which is Thrakath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what. All right. My apologies. I should have studied up more.
So after that, I kind of got this idea to create something called Cat Bank, which.
You did not.
Yes.
You did not tell. You did not tell me that existed.
Well, Cat Bank isn't ready yet; it's in the works. But this was the first part of Cat Bank I was doing because I've been thinking, the Kilrathi get redesigned every single game, and everybody has their favorites, and everybody argues over them, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
But I like to try to think back to what did we think of the Kilrathi as being at this one particular point in time. So I went and extracted all the images of the Kilrathi from Wing Commander 1 and then Wing Commander 2, and interestingly enough. For all the worlds we put in our head, the only actual times you see the Kilrathi in Wing Commander 1 are in tiny little pixel things in a couple of the cutscenes and this VDU image. There is precisely one Kilrathi face in the game. There's no variations. There's no different one for Drakkar, different one for the Aces.
The Aces don't have their own.
Yeah, it was all get it into those 3 diskettes. Yep. So this was the one Kilrathi in Wing Commander 1. Wing Commander 2, you'll see there's a palette shift that you don't really notice in your brain. If you play Wing Commander 1 and Wing Commander 2, you're like, oh, the ships are different colors, but the actual game is the same color. Nope, they're actually different colors. Yeah. They become lighter. So Wing Commander 2 reused this guy, and then it made several other... it basically gave us a rogues gallery of 6 different faces it could pull when you fought a pilot for different difficulty levels. So there's 1, 2.
Scary.
This one's got a lot of eyeshadow.
Hey.
That one. Eye patch 1. And everybody knows this. You in your head you picture, the eye patch 1. He's in Wing Commander 1. He's not in Wing Commander 1. He's in Wing Commander 2, and then Privateer uses him again, and so on. But and here's the cap ship 1.
No.
And just to make this very, very early part of Cat Bank complete, Hobbs, who managed to get a lot into that helmet.
Yeah, he did.
So, that's just me thinking about cats and announcing the development of Cat Bank, which is coming soon. We'll have it at the CIC.
Make your deposit soon.
It's the Tiger's Claw.
Hello.
The reason we're seeing the Tiger's Claw is because I was...
Why?
I'm not going to say the word again.
I'm not... Oh, don't worry. I'm not even thinking about it. I pushed him. I've got all my money from Gar.
Who? So I was talking to someone on Discord the other day.
Sounds like a trend.
Yeah, I have a lot of conversation on Discord. It's fun.
That's true, we do.
He was telling me that the Kilrathi swear that Hobbs has in Wing Commander 2, you accidentally shoot him, he says, Harak! Harak! It's apparently either identical or very similar to a swear in Arabic, which is, and I don't want to get this wrong, basically means exactly the same thing, shit. And it's Zarak. It's Xara in the page I found. Zara. I can imagine it would be exactly the same thing. And he was saying, when he was a kid, he was playing the game, and his dad knew that, and he was like, what? Yeah. But that was just the setup. I mean, it's an interesting fact, but that was the setup for something ridiculous, which I'm about to do now. If you can believe it, and there's no reason why you should, Wing Commander Academy was localized into Arabic.
Huh.
It's in fact, it's the only country, the only translation they did of the TV show. For whatever reason, I think it was either in Saudi Arabia or Qatar, they aired all 13 episodes fully translated with new voice actors.
Okay.
And one of the interesting things about this version is that it has a theme song. And I would play the entire thing, but I did a test thing onto, I tried to upload just the video, and it was like, this is owned by Universal. And first of all, it's not owned by Universal, but I don't want to go through that. So you're going to see the Tiger's Claw, and I'm going to play the song.
Oh, you're a tricky man.
Yeah, so here's the song. This is the Wing Commander Academy theme song with lyrics in Arabic.
I don't know if it's playing.
It'll be a second.
Oh, okay.
It's quiet.
صقر الحرة أرعد أبرد بدد شرة حلم أنت الأقوى من نبع الشجاعة تروى إن عدو الخير تنمر فطغى وبغى أذى دمر صار الجو الصافي أحمر ناور سدد أحرق غربانا أعداء أبرق أرعد كي تصفو هذه الأجواء حلق.
And there we have it. And if you're wondering what all that means, I do have a translation here.
I saw that.
Fly soar like an eagle.
You gotta sing that for me.
The problem is we could not hear the song, so we're just pretending. But
okay, yeah.
I will try. Fly soar like an eagle. Growl, roar, decimate evil. Fly soar, you are the toughest. Quenched your thirst from the fountain of courage. The enemy of virtue, a bully. Tyrannical, catastrophic, malicious, unjustly. Clear sky is now bloody. Maneuver, aim, incinerate the enemy. Roar, growl, so our sky is clear again. Fly.
Wow, that's a string of words put together.
I could see how it would make sense in as like a children's cartoon about fighting evil and flying to keep the Kilrathi away.
Tyrannical, catastrophic, malicious, unjustly.
They're bad. The Kilrathi are bad.
I get it.
Whew. So that was a ridiculous thing that happened.
Yes, I thought there were some ridiculous things. That was way more ridiculous than you led me believe.
And by the way, I went and I compared all the runtimes of the episodes to the original U.S. releases. Mm-hmm. Almost all of them were uncut, except for on both your houses, the one where they land on the bio research planet, and it turns out the lady is creating bioweapons to murder the Kilrathi.
Oh yeah,
Dr. Singh. The part they cut out, which is a little chunk of the episode, it's like a minute or so, is all the scenes of Cadet Archer in her bikini.
Okay, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it wouldn't be appropriate for broadcast there, and
yeah.
It's an easy change to the show. So,
all right then.
And last but not least, and also not last, is...
Yes, this is just the afterburner.
This story, which comes to us from Twitter again, a fellow named Amiga Love has been doing some research and preservation stuff on Ultima 6 for the Amiga. Makes sense with his name. Ultima 6 for the Amiga was developed by Origin in 1991, and it was published by Origin in the US. And there turns out there were two different versions. The Amiga was designed to output to TVs in addition to a monitor. So it had...
like Cameron and Halt Catch Fire.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So the Amiga was a super sexy multimedia PC at the time. And it was fighting the Mac and the PC in the US. It was much more successful in Europe. The vast majority of Amiga releases and development happened in Europe. But there was a reliable audience for games like Ultima on the Amiga, so Origin would port it.
Okay.
It turns out that Ultima 6 had two different versions, one for NTSC, US televisions, and one for PAL televisions in Europe, or in UK. And this guy, and he has a great article, we'll put a link to it up in the bottom stuff later, but... He bought a copy of the game, which is not an easy game to find necessarily, and found out that it didn't work on his PAL Amiga. It had this screen right here. It let you actually go through the intro and the character creation, and then gave you this screen about calling for another version. And he was fascinated in the same way I would be fascinated about if this were Wing Commander. And he went and tracked down... I'm saying he, but I don't know if they're a man or woman. I apologize if that's not the case. Anyway, they went and tracked down the U.S. release, which is much, much, much rarer, and managed to get it to work, and they preserved copies which are available online. And that was all really exciting because, this is the sort of thing that does not matter in any way to playing the game. It's almost just a region lockout because the game was distributed by Mindscape in Europe and Origin in the U.S., and you didn't want Mindscape selling copies in the U.S. and so on. People importing from Europe cheaper or something. So it's almost just a region lockout.
Okay.
But it's the tiny sort of background thing. So I wasn't even thinking at the time. I replied to him and I said, "Oh, is there a?" By the way, here's the two different versions. That's the US NTSC version on the left and the PAL release on the right. You can see it has the Mindscape distribution sticker. So I added him and said, "Oh, do you know if there's a similar thing with Wing Commander? How was that released?" And he directed me to Shot97, who is the Wing Commander Amiga expert, who told me it was available in the United States, but the release was actually identical, down to everything about the release was identical to the European release. Mindscape distributed in both areas. Okay. And with a little bit of looking into it, I figured out that the story is... do I have a picture? Yeah, so this is the Amiga. This is the original Amiga release. What happened was, in September 1990, Origin released Wing Commander, and they actually announced that there would be an Amiga port and advertised it in their catalog. It was as a future product. They started development of that and then decided it was just too hard, and the Amiga base in the US was not worth it. Yeah. Ultima is a reliable thing, and it's not as processor intensive. But getting Wing Commander to work on an Amiga 500 requires a god among men of programmers.
Gotcha.
So in 1991, Mindscape, which their parent company Software Toolworks, made a deal with Origin about porting Wing Commander 1 to a couple different platforms, including CD-ROM, Super Nintendo, and the Amiga. Ooh. They thought, we could do it, and we could do it in Europe, and we'll make a bunch of money.
Sure.
And the deal was basically they paid Origin a lump sum, and then they went off and did this on their own, and they had distribution rights forever. So that is why there's no U.S. Origin-published version of Wing Commander for the Amiga. It was all done by Mindscape. And if you look at later Origin catalogs, you'll see they never advertised any of these games. That's because something happened at the end of 1991 that changed all of this. Origin made this deal, Mindscape had these, and then Electronic Arts bought Origin, and Origin got out of the publishing business entirely. And this has caused something of a weird minor problem with EA ever since then, because there are several versions of Wing Commander that they don't own.
Oh, okay.
Or they don't own the distribution to.
Yep.
Which includes the CD-ROM release, the Ultima 6, and that's much more important in the US. That's why there are 10 million EA compilations with Wing Commander 2, or Privateer, or Academy, but almost none with Wing Commander 1.
Interesting.
Because they technically do not have the distro rights to the CD release. which is super fascinating to me why these things happen. And that's also why Electronic Arts never advertised Super Nintendo Wing Commander or Amiga Wing Commander or even the CD release.
But did they get any money from those?
No, it was all a deal that Origin had made beforehand. You know,
so it was
Origin wanted X number of dollars, and it was the rough and tumble Wild West era of making deals. So it's just a crazy thing, and that's why they do things like rework it for Kilrathi Saga, or even why like the GOG version is not the CD version, which is almost identical to what it is, which is the diskette version with the diskette add-ons installed.
Yeah.
And as I think through this in the tree in my head, there's all these reasons for that. It's super fascinating. Anyway, he also sent me this picture, which I thought was really neat, on Twitter. The one on the left is the original release. It looks the same in the U.S. and the UK and France. Okay. The center one is the Acid Amiga reprint, because as part of this deal, Mindscape also is allowed to resell, to relicense to different packages and things. So there are weird like Amiga packs that re-release Wing Commander, and it'll be like a box with like Wing Commander and Elite and Mega Traveler. And those games don't seem to belong together. So the same with the CD version. You'll see weird compilations that have the CD that are not connected with EA at all. And the third one on the right is the what do you call it? It's the Ocean Software discount line Hit Squad, the Hit Squad Amiga release.
Oh, that's what it says in the middle of the disc. I was trying to read that. Yeah, it's hard to see. Interesting.
In fact, I have somewhere here. I have an Amiga release or two. If you'd like to look at one.
Oh,
because I make a point of trying to buy Amiga releases when I see them in the U.S. wondering if they're different, and now I know the full story. But you can see the box is a little bit smaller. It has the distributed by Mindscape logo on the front.
Yeah.
And it's essentially the same paperwork. You get an additional reference guide here, and there's an Amiga addendum. Addendum. Anyway, the other part of the Amiga story that impacts all this is and you may have heard this story before. The fellow who I said earlier you would need a master programmer to get Wing Commander 1 to work in an Amiga 500. And the reason Mindscape was into this was because they had a master programmer, a fellow named Nick Pelling, who was amazing, is amazing. He still is amazing. But he was responsible for porting the entire game himself. And the crazy part of the story is, they wanted to release as soon as they could, but midway through 1991, he got terribly, terribly, deathly ill, with an illness that they were like, there's a good chance you're not going to survive.
Ow, that's not good. That's never good.
So he said to his bosses, you got to give the project to somebody else. Yeah. I may not be coming back. And they said, no, you're the guy to do this. Yeah. And amazingly, they stuck to that. So the Amiga version of Wing Commander, if there was an Amiga audience in 1991 in the U.S., maybe it would have been a hit. But by late night, it ended up coming out Q4 1992 when the Amiga was done in the U.S., unfortunately. But it's a spectacular port, and we'll take a look at it someday because the Amiga is really, really neat. And again, it's much less power than a PC, so they do all sorts of neat tricks to keep it as good.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's the Afterburner slideshow.
Mm-hmm. That book just fell. Holy crap.
So what do you want to do next?
Oh, I don't know. Do you have any nice, serene pictures of things we can kind of just relax to for a bit, maybe? Take a second off, maybe?
No.
No? You don't have anything like that at all? Are you saying I should warm up the car and just make our way? Yeah, see? That's why I'm talking like that.
I'm saying maybe there's a physical prop you should be thinking of.
Oh, I was waiting for you to have some type of segue.
I don't have a segue for this.
Oh, you just want me to warm up the...
Jump drive!
Where should we
last time it was an accident, but this time I think it's time to take our chances and... what? Why not press the button and we'll see...
well, last time we pressed the button, all types of weird stuff happened.
Yeah, we ended up at Ultima 7, and that was...
and then who knows what happened on Tuesday.
Yeah,
things got bad.
Yeah, so who knows what's going to happen here.
So we're clear?
Yeah, jump drive.
See ya.
Where are we going?
Where are we going? We're going somewhere funky. That's where we're going. It's going to be bright. Very, very bright. I also
make
know-
screaming noises.
I also know very little about Amigas.
Whoa!
Oh!
My gosh, where are we?
I'm trying to remember any of the... I'm trying to remember some of the silly sounds from Windows 3.11.
Well, this is so ridiculously bright that we've got to wear shades.
Oh.
Ah. No, I just hadn't had my sunglasses there.
Yeah, you did.
Here we are in Windows 3.11. Boy, I bet
Just as bad as the band.
What a surprise! We are streaming an old version of Windows tonight.
Huzzah.
Are you guys excited?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
So, yeah, here we are in.
Wow, that is something else.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I was
make
trying to say,
OBS
how
go
do
away
you, how
because
do you even know where you're clicking? Because that's a lot.
I've seen two hot dog stands the same. So this is Windows.
Yes.
There's where I made your name.
Oh, thank
This
you.
is Windows 3.11. This was
Yeah.
back when Windows was just a shell on top of DOS, and there were certain games and programs and things that you would need to run through Windows. So
Very few things.
yeah, very.
Very few things successfully.
So yeah, this is what it looked like, and you'll recognize if you've never used this, you recognize stuff like Paint and Solitaire and the calculator, and there's other. I remember using Cardfile, which was a very basic database back in the day to make my databases back then.
Okay.
But the reason that we are so excited about Windows 3.11 and why we've jumped there in our Magic Time Machine is a little project called Origin FX. And this is Origin FX right here. As a Mac person, you can probably... You know the good one.
Yes, we did not have this. We had the flying toasters of After Dark.
After Dark, yes.
Yes, After Dark was the very big thing. I remember my dad used to he's to come and buy it and bring the box home.
So
Screensaver.
Today, a screensaver is just something that is there. No one would ever waste any time at all trying to install their own screensaver. But back then...
I have a National Park Service screensaver installed on my laptop.
No normal person would ever...
Yeah, that's true.
So different companies were... there was this product called After Dark that was
Yep.
first for the Mac, and they did it for the PC, and it was the flying toasters, which became a super 90s aesthetic.
Yeah.
And so everybody was competing to do their own screensaver. There was a Star Trek one. There was a Babylon 5 one.
Yeah, the Screensaver Wars.
Yeah, they ended up calling them stuff like Interactive Experience or whatever. But
Yeah,
there was a
or
Star Wars one. I remember the Star Wars one, they really tricked you, or they really got you to buy it because it had like a message from George Lucas about the prequels, and it had like it had like a, 100 by 160 thing of the big scene that was cut from New Hope. But somehow, for some reason, Origin also joined the screensaver war.
Yes, they did.
With this product right here called Origin FX. Hopefully that's in the camera. I can't see it now. But,
yeah, I can't see. I was going to say I'll do, but I can't see either. I'll tell you in a second if
So-
it was. Yeah,
Origin
you're pretty
FX,
good.
Yeah. Origin FX was a screensaver with all sorts of modules, and they were trying to connect it to Origin. The idea was it would have references to Origin games, it would have a couple of utilities for Origin games,
Okay.
and then it would have just generic screensavers. And I thought we'd look at a couple of those.
I need to know what the daily quote is right now. I mean,
Well, here we go. We can test each one.
Okay.
The daily quote: "The superior man is distressed by his want of ability." Okay.
Thanks, Confucius.
That's what that does. That's the
Okay.
first thing they do in Origin FX. So Origin FX, it's a screensaver. It's a slideshow, which was something that was not built into Windows at the time. It is also a movie player for Wing Commander 2, which we'll see in a moment. If you have Origin FX and you have Wing Commander 2, you can. There's a segment of this where it will play this various flicks from Wing Commander 2. Here's Air Show. This is
Ooh, let's see.
yeah. Ooh.
F-22 or
22.
YF-22, I guess, huh?
Yes. Or are you asking me why it's an F-22?
No, say why. Oh,
Celtec drone.
Cell-Trek drone.
So obviously this is pretty cool for a Wing Commander fan. Sevens of Wing Commander fans. Also, by the way, as fearless leader of Wing Commander community, I take this one for us. By the way, this is.
That's Dang.
An Orion.
All right.
So this is all stuff from.
What was the fighter? Is that supposed to be that wasn't a Morning Star. It was like it looked like it though. Was that like something from
Strike?
Yeah, it was
it'll be
like
from
F-15 or something.
Look, there was a P-38, which
Yeah.
was Strike. There's a Stiletto. Yes, Strike Commander was originally going to have a P-38 in it, and that was cut.
Oh good God.
You were going to do ground attack missions in a P-38.
That's
a F5 or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks like it. No, I don't think it's a Tiger. That looks like Corsair 2 or something. Destiny 2 again.
So and it's hard to imagine today, but back then, this was insanely cool to have all these little airplanes fly on the screen, and sometimes they're wing commander
F5
ships.
right there. That was a Tiger. There's our Orion. I like how it's randomly, that and the Stiletto are randomly in there with all the other planes.
There's a Stealtech drone. There's a Talon that'll come. I'm not sure what the entire library is, but
There's
Stiletto.
again.
So it ships from Privateer, Strike Commander, and
And this will just play across your screen.
yeah, you would leave your computer on, and this would so.
You have to save
It's
your
air
screen.
show.
Has anyone ever lost a screen though?
I think even before CRTs would have burn-in if you left them on like the
Yeah.
same database every day, but even by the time screensavers were a big thing, not even so much.
Yeah, I think that was kind of explosive. Oh, you got
And a bunch of these have neat little options, like instead of to smoke and explosivity.
Ooh, what could
Now
possibly?
we're gonna
happen?
blow up our desktop.
Oh! Oh, those were the days.
And of course, Origin had all these explosions from different cutscenes, so it was easy to do this.
I like how they have the
Oh no, our desktop! Ah!
Look at all those nukes.
And here's a good one for Wing Commander fans. I'm gonna set it to maximum stuff and include space junk.
Yep.
Haha! It's just all the asteroids and mines and bits of
Junk.
fighters from Wing Commander 2 and
Yeah, I was gonna say I see some asteroids. I see some decoys.
oh, it's actually a mix of Privateer and Wing Commander 2 asteroids. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What else? And there's some damage like a engine.
yeah, little ring
nozzle.
bits. There's a
Kilrathi.
Grickath part there,
Yeah.
Gothry part.
Yeah.
I've seen. I think there's a Stiletto part.
Yeah, I think that.
Oh,
that
the
might be
Saber
that-
Wing.
Yeah.
That was a cool screensaver.
Yeah.
Avalanche. What is Avalanche? And a bunch of these are just like effects for your screen. So this just makes your screen melt.
Okay.
You're a loser if you use Avalanche instead of a good one.
Yeah.
And you may notice some of these have music. It actually supports MT32, so you can have beautiful MIDI music playing during your screensaver.
Because that's what you want happening.
Here we are burning off our screen with Blaze.
Okay, that should use that for the Afterburner slideshow
And here's this one. This is a...
for the ladies.
Whoa, yeah, for the ladies. We've got the Ultima Butterfly, and then we've got all sorts of flowers that appear.
Okay.
But not
It's not
that
a-
quickly.
Bouquet. That's one flower I see. But let me guess. Is the butterfly going to do its job?
You know what? Let me up the
Fertilizer.
fertilizer to heavy.
Fertilizer.
Yeah, even these have that origin
How do you want to pollinate it? Have a
butterfly or none.
I guess they don't like bees. They do not like bees. Oh. I don't get what the fertilizer. That means how fast
It should make
opens?
more flowers appear, but
Apparently, your green thumb is not what you thought it was.
I didn't think it was good at all.
Well, it's worse than you imagined.
Building blocks. Oh, we're going to cover the screen with blocks.
Oh boy.
Textured blocks. They're here.
These were such a big deal.
Claw and Scratch. This is the cartoon. This has Warren Spector written all over it. But it's a cartoon mouse and cat that chase each other.
Oh, it's not any famous.
No, these are Origin original characters.
Uh-huh.
And in 73 years, they'll be in the public domain, and we can make our own Claw and Scratch adventures.
Oh. I cannot.
Oh, Claw is going after Scratch, or vice versa.
I can't wait.
Oh, what's he gonna do? Oh, he put cheese out. Oh, no, he got the tongue.
Oh, I don't know what to say to that. I just know that we're in 110. We're going to be making our own, I guess. Great.
Feet. If you like
Oh.
foot stuff.
No.
The
Not,
Guardian.
that's a different stream.
And here's the Guardian from Ultima. He rips through your slideshow and talks to you.
What a strange man. Do we have any other good ones in there? Some.
Let's see. What's hypnosis? Oh, just,
Oh,
That sort of
a
thing.
spin on the old one.
Yeah, we can get stoned and watch the Origin FX screensaver.
Wow, man.
Oh, what else?
But psychedella's right there, man.
Here's Main Street. I think this is where they build. Okay, construction workers are going to build a city for us.
Oh my.
Oh.
Working 9 to 5.
Who needs Sim City when you have the Origin FX screensaver? It does it for you.
Oh my goodness. But is it really saving your screen in the end with all this other stuff that it's playing instead?
I think after they build the city, they knock them down and build more.
Oh my.
Mighty Forest. Oh, here's one where they grow.
Okay.
An Ultima Forest is growing before our eyes.
And it's on, but it's burning.
Oh no, it's on fire! Oh god!
It's a California forest.
Hey, look, all sorts of settings. What else feels good?
Do psychedelia.
Psychedelia, okay.
It's probably this. What? It's just feet.
Another foot one.
Okay, it's not what I. Okay. Huh. That's not what I would have thought for psychedelic, but.
Well, there's different shapes. So you can shape 4.
I like how we never. Oh, that's kind of underwhelming.
Oh, you can change the color.
Oh, well, jeez.
Well, let's try shape 6 with red
got-
blue. Whoa! Okay, I see it now.
That's a little matrixy right there. Red pill, blue pill.
That had not been invented yet.
Nope. I would go to TCS.
Let's see what silhouette is first. Oh, silhouetted creatures. Okay.
Yes.
There's a lot of filler in here. Okay. This is the one that I was so excited about when I was a teen.
Okay.
When I first got online, because I didn't buy this when I was a kid. I didn't have money to buy a screensaver. But I read about it, and somebody had posted pictures from the manual, which listed all these, and they're all upsold incredibly. It's like, this is the most amazing whatever. It's like a real cartoon on your PC.
I do remember the upselling on it.
So TCS Paradigm has an amazing in-lore description. It's like, in the year 2663. Like, what? That's the year for the Paradigm? Okay. And I was so desperate to get this, and a guy named Reaver kept offering to pirate it, and I kept telling him no. And somebody at Origin found out about that, and they were like, what a good boy! And they sent me a copy, which was so exciting. And what it ends up being is this.
I like how you were able to set the warp factor, too, there on that menu.
No, that's a warp drive. It's the Paradigm ship from Privateer, and it flies back and forth in front of different backgrounds.
And it looks very sharp, though.
It is a nice high-resolution render of,
Yeah.
I mean, for Windows 3.1, it's a nice high-resolution render.
Yep. Looks smooth.
In fact, I think there's a couple different backgrounds. Yeah, it's the asteroids from the intro.
The Privateer, yeah.
And, we can change the size of the Paradigm. How high can this thing go?
7, it looks like.
8. 8.
8.
You can go to 8.
That was underwhelming.
Well, let's see an 8. No. Kind of touchy here. And we're going to go to warp 6, warp 7, warp 8.
We're going to double
8 by 8.
Here we
64.
go.
Whoa!
That really...
It's so big and fast.
Yep.
Yep. And here's the good Ultima one, which is a pretty cool one.
Ultimate Menagerie.
Yes, these are just random animals, and you can set their, again, Origins immersion. You set their food supply instead of the number of animals.
Because, that's how nature works, man.
So it's all the, weird Ultima beasts. Here they come. There's sea dragons and red boys and bone men. I don't know Ultima lore enough.
I thought that was Ultima lore, so.
Bone men, unicorns. Are there unicorns in Ultima?
I guess so. It looks like a unicorn.
Yeah.
That looks like
a fire horse of some sort.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to call that guy an Ent, maybe? Anyway.
That's a stretch, maybe.
Alright, so the other one that's... Well, here, we've only got 3 others. So, window washer. This is one of those non-exciting but keynote ones. I can almost remember seeing this one used legitimately by people.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, there was a monkey in that one.
What type of crazy building is it?
Oh, no. It was broken. Oh, my God.
This is a bad neighborhood.
Oh, what things will this guy reveal? This isn't television. This is Compel-O-Vision.
Yeah. Oh, we got another broken window. This is not a good neighborhood.
It's just all broken windows. Well, I mean...
Oh, King Kong.
Oh, yeah. Why are they paying to have the monkey building washed?
Yeah, I don't get it. Apparently, what's on all those windows? Clearly feces the monkeys are throwing.
Oh, it's a clear one. Okay.
It's a fixed window.
It's one of those corner offices for the executives. Another broken one.
Look at this is a crappy building.
I feel like he's just breaking them though. He's just a bad window washer.
His brother-in-law works for the window company.
Because what is the dirt keeping them together?
More soap.
More soap.
Written backwards. Aren't you
Okay.
classy? What's this?
Oh, a
That's
fish!
We have a problem. There's water in our building.
I had that problem in my basement recently.
I hope you didn't have that type fish, though.
And here, last but not least.
Mike, you would think that the bricks would get burnt in and all these things wouldn't really be as effective. Because I feel like a screensaver should be trying to save your screen. Ferret launching... Oh, look at this.
Yeah, when you say movies, what they mean are the little animations in Wing Commander 2. It plays all the animations, and it actually has text for them that it adds, saying what they are.
Our hero.
And Angel. So it'll just play scenes from Wing Commander 2, and there are several different backgrounds like that. So that was the Wing Commander 1 version. And we have...
What, did it break on us?
No, it takes a minute to load because of the... Here's the Wing Commander 2, everybody, and Prince Straka. They're in the...
That's right. That reminds of the very earliest days of Always Consider.
Because we used this as our frame for one of our first test episodes.
Yeah, this is memories.
And there's an Ultima one. I'll try one more. There's an Ultima background. In fact, I think we used the Ultima background when we went to the world of Ultima.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the cargo bay.
Yeah.
The other thing that you can do is a slideshow, and I have the default slideshow here in case you want to see.
Ooh, look at that. Beautiful high res.
It's got a couple of bitmaps in there for the default ones.
Okay. That's very nice.
Of course, this was back when computers wanted 30 seconds to go from slide to slide instead of...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know what I can do? Is prefs? No.
Can you change it to...
I can edit the slideshow. Okay.
Duration, right? Other side.
Yeah, there we go. Duration, can we do 5 seconds? Okay.
Yeah, I feel like 5's good.
Okay, this will show us all of them. Privateer Asteroid Base, which looks beautiful. We actually have that file in the CIC in the wallpapers. A rendering of underwater stuff.
Your standard fish. Gotta have fish for... That's another After Dark one.
Mm.
Bloop, 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 bloop. Did make that weird sound.
God, 5 seconds is a long time when you think about it.
Yeah, I was debating...
We've been looking at this fish for a while.
Nobody cares about the fish. This is the longest 5 seconds ever.
Now we've broken it.
Yeah, I think it just...
Anyway, there's a couple different bitmaps, and it's neat. So that's Origin FX. One of those Origin things that nobody ever sees. I claim it in the name of Wing Commander. I claim this as a Wing Commander title.
And you have done so for quite a long time.
Yes, whenever I make a list of Wing Commander games, this one's ours. Hands off Ultimate people.
Yeah,
and they don't care. So
you certainly do take this one for the team, I will say. And you have for a very long time.
I love OFX. But
yes.
And of course, you can't have Windows 3.1 without running Hot Dog Stand, the worst color scheme in the world. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
And I figured we would. Why don't you get the jump drive ready? And
warm up the jump drive.
Warm up the jump drive.
I just want to say though, earlier when you showed me this, I was taking a flashback with the old MS-DOS prompt icon. Because that's what, when Windows 98 came out, that's often how you'd have to use to launch stuff.
Okay, I'm going to ski down this slope.
Oh my.
Because you can't have Windows without
what I'm amazed is you have
the
window on top of the window. This should be interesting to see when you lose track of. Oh, look at you.
Oh, God.
Oh, I think that was a jump. I think that was a good jump. I like how there's just a ski lift randomly in the way. Like
ski free, man.
Oh.
Is anybody else live streaming ski free tonight? I don't think so.
I don't think you're hitting those. Right into the tree. You don't sunny bone on yourself.
Anyway, you should probably hit that button before we get.
All I know. Oh, look at the snowboarder.
Oh no! Oh gosh.
I like how the ski lift is just floating. You want me to do it?
You better hit that before the monster gets us.
Let's get off this slope.
Right. Whoa!
Oh, the jump drive. We gotta refuel it soon. I don't know how many jumps. We've done 4 jumps with it. We'll have to refuel it soon. What did you just do there? Were we lost in the ether of space
we
for
were
a
stuck
second?
in space, but now we're back.
We jumped in a black hole system, and we didn't know where the jump point exited. That was bad for that second.
So that was our little trip to the amazing world of Windows 3.1.
Yeah.
Or Windows 3.11, Windows for Workgroups. I remember when my dad got Windows for Workgroups, and because we had like a really crummy like Token Ring network or something, and I was the coolest kid in school because everybody else just had Windows 3, and we had limited networking.
Interesting. I did not have that.
With that,
Yep.
we get back to our info burst. Are you ready to talk about the space news?
Yes, I am.
All right. Yeah. Space news. Story number 1. The Sci-Fi Network's Fangirls podcast, Fangirls Strong Female Characters podcast, recently did a story covering the career of Ellen Guan Beeman, who, of course, we know as a major influence in the early Wing Commanders, the writer and project manager on Secret Missions 2, Wing Commander 2, those early games we especially love. And it's a great... because she's absolutely fascinating. She started off her career in animation writing for shows like She-Ra and that genre of
those
early
early
80s kid shows.
Yep.
And then made it to Origin, made it to Sierra, and then Origin, and then became a novelist. And it's very interesting. I'd encourage anybody to check it out. We'll post a link below. Mm-hmm. Next up, Dardiel, who is, I'm probably saying this wrong, Dardiel, an Italian Wing Commander fan who you may know from the really good Wing Commander retrospective in Italian he posted recently, has done something totally silly, which, of course, we love.
That's what we encourage.
He has created a live-action version of Ennio 1, the first mission of Wing Commander. It's in Italian, but it's so crazy and enjoyable that it has just that perfect... homemade quality to it that's wonderful.
He's one-upped us.
His is better than our dumb sketches.
Yeah, by a lot already.
And so he basically took screenshots and he matted himself into the back seat. It's really cool stuff. He used Blender and DaVinci Resolve, and I figure we just share the video. Hopefully he won't mind. But go watch his retrospective on YouTube also. Really cool stuff. Here's the video.
Spirit, rotta impostata per punto di navigazione, rendezvous nav 1.
Ricevuto, computer di navigazione attivo. Comandante, rilevo contatti nemici sul radar, stormo di dralti, richiedo istruzioni.
Vi rilevo anche io, gruppo di 3 dratti, possiamo gestirli, ingaggiare.
Ricevuto.
Mi occupo del bersaglio alla mia sinistra.
Bersaglio eliminato.
Colpito, fuori un altro.
Il massimo che voi scimmie siete capaci di fare.
Abbiamo appena cominciato. Attenzione, Spirit, sei nella mia linea di tiro. Colpito.
Ci è mancato poco.
Era l'ultimo, possiamo procedere. Punto di rotta successivo, nav 2.
Roger.
Attenzione. Abbiamo raggiunto il primo campo asteroidi ed è pericolosamente denso. Attraversarlo non sarà una passeggiata. Sono troppo grandi, li frantumo con il blaster. Ancora uno. Oh no. Quella era a prova di proiettili, non è normale evitarlo. No, ne siamo usciti. Andiamocene di qui e di corsa.
Ti seguo, punto di rotta impostato. Tango intercettati, squadrone salti in avvicinamento, ci hanno individuati.
Ingaggiare. Siamo al Giovanni al secondo campo asteroidi. Cerchiamo di non addentrarci eccessivamente, è troppo rischioso combattere in queste condizioni.
Sembra che abbiano avuto la stessa idea, si stanno ritirando. Li inseguiamo?
Aspetta. No, non ne vale la pena. Sono pochi elementi, meglio risparmiare carburante. Torniamo al punto d'incontro con la Tiger's Claw. Il colonnello ci attende per il rapporto. Tiger's Claw, richiesta autorizzazione a atterraggio.
Ricevuto, autorizzazione concessa.
Wasn't that great? That guy's amazing. I wish I had thought of that.
We tried, but we're just not as...
We're not that good. No one is that good.
No, we are not that good. We would still be doing that.
And last but not least for the space news, Defiance Industries has released 2 alternate skins for his Thunderbolt and Excalibur models, which are designed after the liveries from Wing Commander 3 from the Victory. And he also notes in the same breath that anything he posts like that is free for the community to use, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So those are available in the forums, and I've got a couple pictures. There's that Thunderbolt, the Excalibur.
I love the Wing Commander 3 paint scheme on the Excalibur.
It's good.
It's good. I prefer it. I don't know. I just love that gray with the black and then the little red stripe. It just screams badass fighter somehow. Better than the purple and the other one.
Yeah, the like kind of light gray in Wing Commander 4. It's not as good. But...
No, it's not as intimidating. Definitely not.
So next up, we are going to be making a long jump to... You want to introduce it? Okay.
Oh, yeah, but you said long jump. I'm like, we're not jumping.
We're not doing another jump. This is inside the Wing Commander universe.
Well, yes, we are.
Some people will disagree, but this is inside.
But it's separated by a small amount of space.
And 100 years.
And 100 years, yes. We are going to do something that everyone should be aware of. We are going to learn the ships of Privateer 2.
So last time we pointed out an error in our own space news where we got the ship identification wrong in Privateer 2. So
that's never good.
We are punishing ourselves and everyone else with an 18-part series.
That's right.
Introducing all the player ships in Privateer 2. We've got here a ship grid.
Boop, 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 boop.
Each time we unlock a ship,
yes,
it'll go in the grid.
Yes.
That'll be at the end.
Yes. There's a lot of thought to put into this over the last few days. It's evolved wonderfully.
Yes, this is going to be one of our worst things.
Yeah. Well, I like how we're both the same price, at least, you know? We're both the same caliber of wingman, apparently.
Oh, yeah, we're both 415 credits.
Yeah.
So this is the PL-01 Straith Light Fighter, available for civilians in the Tri-System in the year 2790. Ooh. And if there is any Privateer 2 ship that everyone recognizes, it's the Straith, because this is the starter ship. You have only enough money to buy this one at the start of the game. It's 10,000 credits. You have basically enough for this and the very basic weapons.
Yep, basic loadouts.
Basic loadouts, yes. So the Straith is part of the PL series of what are called low-end ships, which includes the Straith, the Wallachia, the Skekis Mark II, the Kalreshi, and the Kindred Blade. Why the Kindred Blade? That's a weird one, and we don't quite know.
Why not, I guess.
Sorry, I'm still adjusting my windows here after that visit to the ski-free monster.
Yeah, the hot dog stand's hard to get away from.
Well, and in fact, I have here in my notes, and it'll come up again, that the distinguishing appearance factor of the Straith is that it looks like 2 hot dogs in a hamburger bun.
Yes.
You know, if the Millennium Falcon, I don't know if that story's true or apocryphal, but if the Millennium Falcon is a hamburger with a olive next to it, the Straith is 2 hot dogs in a hamburger bun.
I'll give you that. I'm never going to think of that again.
So supports a crew of 2, a pilot and a passenger.
Yep.
Performance maneuverability is not great. 45 DPS. It's very, very slow. It's maximum speed 288 kps. That's slower than a broadsword. Afterburner 576 kps.
That's nothing. Just
a touch over the non-afterburner speed of a ferret. So this thing is incredibly slow and incredibly weak. The armor is it's 75 centimeters armor all around, 100 centimeters of shields both sides, which is nothing. You know, that seems like a lot compared to Wing Commander 1, but keep in mind the Privateer 2 takes place almost 150 years after Wing Commander 1.
Mm-hmm.
There's the VDU image.
Yeah. Hey.
I wanted to run through the weapons. For the purposes of this, we're going to be using the default in-game loadouts for these ships rather than making up our own. So the default loadout for the Straith is 2 Volt lasers on the guns, 2 snipe missiles, which will only appear if you're difficulty level 3 or higher in the game. And although it has 2 component slots, only one of them is ever filled with high-X mines, which I personally have never used in Privateer 2.
I don't think I've never used those either, I don't believe. That's one of those things kind of like the mines in...
Enemy mine.
Yeah, well, I was going to say in like Wing Commander 3 and Wing Commander... Like you don't... And in Wing Commander 1, you don't... You use it like once to try to hit somebody behind you, and then it's like, that's not worth the effort.
There's also very little lore on the Straith. I should note, we know that it is at least 13 years old because there's the database entries that you can go through, and there are 3 for Straith, and one of them is 13 years old, but we don't know much more than that. The Privateer 2 ships are very lore light. In fact, a lot of the lore in Privateer 2 references different ships because they change so much during development. So there's, unlike where I know Origin Aerospace, Douglas Aerospace, McCall Industries, and so on, there's not so much for Privateer 2, but what there is like fascinating little nuggets, and I love collecting nuggets.
Yes.
In fact, here is a pre-release screenshot from Privateer 2, where if you look closely, you can see that about a couple months out from release, it was still called the Jackal, and it cost 45,000 credits. So all sorts of rebalancing goes on between the screenshots you see from Privateer 2 and when you actually play the game.
We have a question from the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Has anyone ever beaten Privateer 2 in a Straith?
I don't think so. I don't think it's possible. It is so underwhelming compared to the other ships. I don't...
Yeah, because I was going to think there's certain parts where I'm just not sure it's possible to survive long enough.
Yeah.
Some of those tougher enemy ships.
In fact, when we play the game in just a moment, you're going to see that I have... I have a save game where I have like 1,000 kills, so I'm like the game has flagged me as the top kind of privateer, but I have bought a Straith with this loadout, so we're going to get killed very quickly by pirates if there are any there, which there will be because
there always are pirates in Privateer too.
Well, there are more pirates the higher level you are. So when you're at like level 15 or whatever,
it's problematic.
One of my favorite things about Privateer 2 is the booth system.
Yep.
Because I said there's not a lot of lore about the ship specifically, but there's an insane amount of lore about the Privateer 2 world.
Yeah.
It's like fire hose. They have lengthy biographies for all the characters, all the locations, and because part of the game is a hunt and fetch mystery where you have to go through the like registration things for ships to find the cryopod, so they have like 100 or 150 different like backgrounds about particular ships, and 3 of them are Straiths, and they all have these cool renderings of the ships in different views. So this right here that you're seeing is D234-231L, which is a private vessel licensed to travel anywhere within Confederation non-restricted space, 11 years service.
Interesting. You gotta love how they even put a detail of giving them serial numbers and everything, right?
And by the way, look how cool the team was with CD-ROM tech. They could do 4 different renders of these because there was space and it was easy. This is E321-900S, which is private vessel licensed to travel anywhere within Confederation non-restricted space, 13 years service, which would put it at 2777. And last, but also the best one, is K387-589K. And, you know, I sound ridiculous reading off these registration numbers.
Yeah.
But what if I was like, R4D5. Star Wars fans are able to take all the tiny background registration things and make them memorable characters, and that's what we're going to do right here.
Oh, yeah?
No.
Yeah. I was like, how do you get K387 underscore 589K to flow off the tongue like R2D2?
Just put it in your head, man. Just put it in your head.
Yeah.
So, and the great thing about this one is this is like the James Bond of Straiths. The entire bio is just all information classified. Like, what? Yes. This is classified orange Straith? By the way, look, they did different liveries for all of these.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily the player ones.
Nope.
There's a higher resolution picture of K3875889K from the little poster that came in the Privateer 2 official guide.
You're not turning this into HK, what is it, HK47 in...
Oh, a droid with a number that you remember?
Yeah. Definitely not going to work for this one. Hey, man.
This is Monk Skungus, who is...
Excuse me?
Monk Skungus. He is one of the Privateer 2 wingmen. Privateer 2 has per mission wingmen, who as you see in our
we're for
things.
hire.
Yeah, so he's actually a little bit less than us, 340. He flies a Straith. Rating is reputable. And his wingman quote is, "Let us pray," with pray spelled with an E. And I'm going to read you his bio from... I made that small. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Yeah,
Thank you. Lost there.
So I'm going to use bio because this is one of the great things about Privateer 2 is this British, like Douglas Adams-y Doctor Who in the 80s style world building, which is it's silly but neat and cohesive. And anyway, I'm going to read you Monk Skungus's
Let's see how
bio.
far you get through this with fall apart.
Paul Hughes actually, when he identified all the wingmen and where their pictures are from, a lot of them are developers. This guy was just someone in the background of the film shoot that they used the picture of.
Oh, really?
But,
interesting. He looks like a character. I mean, why not?
Of all the weird and wonderful religions that the Tri-System supports, without doubt, one of the most paradoxical is the sacrilegious order of the murdering monks of Malefiction. Worshippers of a beneficent deity, they selflessly condemn themselves to a spiritual damnation by murdering those they feel worthy of salvation. A victim of unlawful killing automatically achieves entrance into their paradise. Brother Skungus is a member of a splinter group known as the Maudlin Monks, who have noted that, hellbound as they are, they will not be reunited with those they consider worthy of transcendence. Therefore, to make their eternal damnation more pleasant, they kill instead those unworthy of entrance to heaven, and spare those they consider worthy, in the hope that those spared worthies will achieve damnation through their own action, providing the monks with good company for their eternal suffering. Skungus has thus taken the opportunity to mix religion with business. After all, he's damned anyway, so big bucks, drinking, and pleasure borgs won't do him any spiritual harm, will they?
Guess not. Pleasure borgs. Hello.
And believe it or not, there is only... Privateer 2 has, I think, 488 scripted missions.
Yeah.
Only one of them involves a Straith.
What are you trying to say?
Straiths suck.
Oh.
So the mission is it's called Baron Conrad Velder, who is the person since the email.
Yep.
It's one of those email missions.
Oh, yeah.
He emails you saying he has pissed off Count Perrymore. These are like royalty and aristocracy of the planet Janus 4, and Count Perrymore has demanded satisfaction, and so Velder has to go and duel him, and he wants your character to go, pretend to be him and win the duel. And when you win, after you've won the duel and you've killed Count Perrymore, Baron Velder's second emails you and is like, "The good job, but of course we can't let you escape." And so they try to kill you with hired thugs, which includes 2 Straiths.
Oh no!
So,
watch out, sir. That sounds extremely potentially not deadly.
So with that, I'm gonna turn off the Straith slideshow. I'm gonna turn on
for the very first time.
The very first time on this show.
That's right. The very first time on Always Consider, we are loading up Privateer 2. The Darkening.
So let me ask you an honest question.
Sure.
What did you think about Privateer 2 when it came out?
Oh. When it came out, I think I had some reservations like everybody. Mm-hmm. And I remember, getting into the game, it was a little bit confusing. But I remember my dad got me the game and the strategy guide. So I just remember devouring that strategy guide. But it's like... Privateer 2 feels very close to Wing Commander, but it feels just enough away from it that you don't feel necessarily fully at home.
Mm-hmm.
it feels like you're in the I guess for the mirror universe of Wing Commander with all of this, a lot of heavier detail you don't see in other ones, like a lot of the religious stuff. But then also just I remember feeling this is so closed, right? Because it's only technically 3 systems with all these nav points and all of these other locations, but it just didn't give me the same breadth that, say, Privateer does, even though this is insanely, has insanely more depth, more missions, more lore, and a bunch of different avenues to explore it in, too. But I just remember feeling, like, I would never say I hated it, but I was certainly weirded out, I think, by it a bit.
I think a lot of people have that reaction. I mean, I will just go right out and say I loved it. I still love it. I love that kind of British sci-fi, and I love the idea of expanding the Wing Commander universe in crazy directions. So I was a super defender of Private. I was in a million flame wars about this. If I battled anybody out there about that, I'm sorry. That's such a waste of everyone's time. But I love this game, and I love this world. And I can't wait to continue considering it as one of all wings.
Yes.
But for now, we're just going to leave Janus 4.
And like, look at all the stuff, right? And
there's so much stuff.
That is the thing. It is really so much stuff.
So here, we've already got.
Oh, shocker!
Oh yeah, I set Mr. Skungus as our wingman.
Mr. Skungus is our...
Yes.
You see,
we got a.
I feel like I'm not as much of a fan of British stuff, so I think that's why it just feels extra strange. But then,
stuff like the elite style radar right there is weird.
Yeah. And then the difference in how weapons work, this is much more of this kind of rapid chain fire, where you're not so much worried about energy, right? It's about cooling too.
And it just seems so cool to me that it was different, and it's so fast. This Wing Commander 3 took minutes to load for a mission on my 486. This is so smooth. It can have 30 or 60 ships at once on an old system. It just seemed really interesting and like so much of a thing to explore.
Yeah, I remember I loved a lot of the combat kind of aspects, and then the improvement to the commodity system. Being able to hire a gigantic monolith, right, and then load it up, and then having to escort it, and then also it having its own defenses was just awesome. Because you really felt like, look, I'm building this whole business up. Like, I can rent ships, and you can rent wingmen, so you can actually have like basically a small little squadron for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, there are things I love because they're what I know, and there are things I love because they don't, and this is the latter. So here's my Strafe. I actually shot down a pirate, but I'm not doing well overall.
No, it's just so underwhelmingly slow that they're not really maneuvering a lot.
And look, I've used up a quarter of my afterburners already at this one nav point. Yeah. So straights are not good.
Yeah, let's suck.
Oh. There went all my armor. Yeah, and this I think is part of the problem for why we don't know all the privateer ships offhand, is because there's so many of them and all the cockpits look the same.
Yeah.
You can see there's not even a unique damage VD. By the way, this is a DOS box thing. It gets really slow when V-Render tries to do the planet. Frame rate goes up when I'm away from the planet, but something about that planet makes the game slow down. So when we do a... I exploded.
Game over, man.
Game over, man.
Hey, are those explosions from Origin FX?
Oh, I mean, barely Origin. This was the guys in the UK who became Traveler's Tales and then Foundry 42. I mean, this is a totally different team.
And it certainly shows.
Although, of course, Aaron Roberts worked on pretty much all those old Wing Commander games also. So, and we will talk about the story of Privateer 2 at some other time.
Yes, we will.
But first of all, here's our ship grid.
Are you ready?
You ready?
Do it.
So tune in next time when we have the Valacia.
Whoa, hey.
PR02.
Hey, easy.
But we do have one more thing to do that I did not tell you about.
I didn't see that. Yeah, when the hell did that show
up? Yeah. See, this is the revenge for you making me sing earlier.
Oh.
I had planned a song for us, and I knew anyone would say this is a terrible idea.
Yes, this is a terrible idea.
So,
oh my goodness. I wish I would have had rum ready for this.
So yes, to help us remember the ships of Privateer 2. we're going to have a song to the tune of Drunken Sailor, with a stanza for each ship we add.
Oh my god, this song is going to be longer than our longest show by the end.
You know, we'll do one each time, and then we'll do the whole thing at the end, if we continue with this, which we may not because it's a terrible idea. But I wanted to see us do it.
This is one of those things where it's like, okay.
All right, will you join me in a round?
I, matey, I shall join you in our fine ditty. Now, remember, we're all friends here.
And none of us can sing.
That's right, and, you know, just remember that we should not tell other people about what's about to happen.
And don't put this in our resumes or anything.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Privateer 2's got a lot of spaceships. Privateer 2's got a lot of spaceships. Privateer 2's got a lot of spaceships. Early in the morning. Beginner strength looks like some hot dogs. Beginner strength looks like some hot dogs.
Beginner strength looks like some hot dogs.
Early in the morning. Let's never tell anyone that happened.
Oh, can we edit that out?
No!
Oh my goodness gracious.
Just imagine how good it's going to be when we get to all 18, though.
We should have definitely we should have had a shot before that. I feel like that would have helped smooth out that. We were not so much exactly in sync.
No, we should... Well, you know, we'll get better.
Yes, we have 17 more times.
And then we can do the pirate ships.
Oh, mateys.
All right, back to our more familiar image.
Oh, where are we, sir? Oh, that's right.
We are in...
Our story continues.
Our story continues, which means that it's time to start not playing the last mission of Special Operations 1. Because I totally Ponzored that.
Wow, which, let's just be clear, that was a fantastic bit, right? 2 minutes, second attempt, and everything that, like, things that never happen, right? Your wingmen shot down enemy fighters. Mm-hmm. Your wingmen destroyed one of the cruisers.
I've got that Teal Brown luck gene.
Yeah, and did they even get a single AMG shot off at you?
I didn't get hit by an AMG.
Yeah. I mean...
It was really good.
It was incredible. Mm-hmm. That was like we had faked the game. But we didn't.
No. So we're going to continue on to start Special Operations 2. So you're going to have commentary and voice acting and all that stuff coming up right now.
Our return to our normal selves.
Return to normalcy.
Yes.
Special Operations 2.
This is going to be a much more of a cruising in this game opposed to Special Operations 1, which is a little bit of a torturous situation. All right. This we get another new ship. We get some nuclear weapons.
Yeah, you know, if you were disappointed by the crossbow, the Morning Star is everything else is butter, and the Morning Star is a knife.
Yeah.
You know, say what you will about Maniac, but that B word can sure invent a nice space fighter.
Yeah. It's a kind of our first true like uber super fighter. I mean, the Rapier is really good in Wing Commander 1, but it's nothing like this.
So this is the height of the add-on disc. Wing Commander 1, it was a big surprise that Secret Missions sold. They didn't even intend for it to be a product that would be available in stores. Wing Commander 2, they plotted the whole product release out. They had Special Ops 1 and 2 all scheduled with team resources and everything to make the, get them out in advance. After this, they're going to start falling off with multimedia, CD-ROMs. You don't want to buy a second CD-ROM at that point anyway.
Yeah.
They're not as profitable once we get to Strike Commander and Privateer, so we get one for each. The Ultimates try them and they don't quite hit, but this is perfectly produced product management, getting us additional stories for Wing Commander 2 and
I was gonna say,
start a new game.
A CD expansions. What do we have? Mostly Westwood stuff, like Red Alert.
Yeah, Red Alert, and yeah.
I know I didn't want to start because I know we have to...
No! I can give you the names of the Mandarin leaders! They're Kilrathi contacts! He's from Kansas City.
Kansas City!
I guess that's what people sound like. Anything! That's what people sound like in Kansas City.
Justice decided in the court. No. Oh, that's... Justice decided in the court, not with particle cannons.
Hey, whatever you're into, man. I don't judge.
Now that we've seen...
I wasn't paying attention. I even saw the pink color and just didn't click.
This military tribunal has reached its verdict. Major Zach Jazz Colson, you stand accused of murder and high treason.
It's weird. It feels
weird.
You
are hereby pronounced guilty of all charges. For these crimes, you are sentenced to death.
By the way, look at that proto-confed flag in back of Colwyn.
Yeah.
If you're wondering why are we seeing a courtroom for some reason, it's because they built the courtroom 3D set for Wing Commander 2 and cut it for space. You would originally have seen Blair's court-martial in this same set at the start of the game, and they just cut that entirely and showed it in Colwyn's office instead.
Meanwhile,
the Morningstar project is nearing the final stages of prototype testing. A squadron of test pilots is being transferred to the Concordia.
Surely this husky-voiced character is a man.
That prototype. Bring me this Morningstar, even if you have to spill blood to get it.
Preferably.
But yes, we both are the same higher cost. We actually, we usually work in the same ship.
2?
Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to think of other CD expansions, and I feel like probably the Westwood ones for Command & Conquer and Red Alert were it.
I think that's about right. I mean, oops.
I would say Chris left that to me.
There, it's real.
No more PC name.
No more PC name until we screw something up and have to load
it. The jump missions, that's right. Which will happen. There's not a doubt it probably won't.
So the first 3 series of this game all take place in a system called, and I am going to pronounce this wrong, I'm sorry if anyone actually lives in the city, Canewdon? It is a city in the UK. Canewdon, and it's not really relevant to anything. But let's fly the first mission.
Echo Station, outside the Deneb sector.
A rapier, nice. Concordia rapier again, for some reason, even though it's on Echo Station.
Sorry, they just haven't got around to repainting them yet.
By the way, this mission specifically.
Colonel.
Colonel, this is Echo Station. Sorry to cancel your leave. You are to escort the prison ship Bastille to rendezvous with the prison ship Alcatraz. The Alcatraz is waiting at Nav 1. The Alcatraz will take Jazz Coulson back to Earth to be executed.
Escort Jazz Coulson to his execution? It'd be my pleasure.
Affirmative, Maverick. Return to the Concordia after completing your mission.
I don't know why I gave her that voice, but I didn't realize it was a woman at first, but it didn't show us the head.
So one thing that's insane about this mission is the number of names we get, and they're so weird. Echo Station.
Okay, that is. Where is that? What is that?
It's a city in. I feel like it's Saharan Africa.
Okay, yeah, you have local name for the city of Acre.
In Israel. Right.
Yeah. So that's where Alexander the Great, I believe. Wasn't that one of his famous?
I think that's right.
Yeah, is that the one where it's an island off the coast and they built the causeway?
I feel like it's a port city, but I don't know offhand.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's the Bastille, which is of course the famous French prison in Paris. But it's just gonna get weirder.
They just keep stacking them on in this, yeah. Mayday! TCS freighters exhibit
Zebek and Delphinium!
Delphinium! This is the captain of the Bastille. Mandarin hijackers have taken over our ship. They're attempting to activate our jump drive. That's a guy. I didn't even look over there. I thought it was the woman. I just saw the black hair.
I thought you were going Jamaican for some reason.
No. Well, I was more concerned with how fast that text was going by. Normally, it's much more slow.
So these various freighters, the Zebek, the Delphinium, the Polemic. Yeah, and there's no obvious theme to any of this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's probably like, hey, just throw me some weird names.
Oh! I ran into a Clydesdale.
You destroyed yourself on the TCS Zebek.
Zebek, maybe? Anyway, I've got a list of what they all are.
Yeah,
if you want to read them off.
So, let's see. The Delphinium is a type of flower, a British minesweeping corvette.
Yeah, it was a minesweeper and a corvette.
Okay. And then it was an ancient Greek city is the origin of it looks like. The
Polemic is just an argument. It's an it's basically what Twitter is all the time now.
Okay, that's weird. The Zebek is a Mediterranean sailing ship. The Camelopard?
Camelopard, which just means giraffe.
That's weird. The Bastille, which is, the prison. The Alcatraz, the prison.
Another prison. It's also, the Alcatraz is a Waterloo for some... Oh!
Yeah.
I'm ram happy right now. Sorry about that.
Oh. Yeah, you know, sometimes you gotta come off those highs and come crashing down to those lows. You know?
Oh, I know.
Listen, you guys use missiles. Listen, you both, all of you know, we've established that Ben and I are not typically the big missile users. Oh, he's got his hand on the trigger though now.
I do have my hand on the trigger.
What's your target, sir?
Oh, what the? Oh, that would be your wingman.
No, I don't have a wingman. That was all the other Jalki.
Oh, is it Jalki? I just saw the leaves and the particles. Oh.
Not going well.
No, this is not. This is...
Maybe we shouldn't jump from Privateer 2 to Wingman.
Yeah, that's true. It is weird jumping from games with such drastic gameplay differences. That it can be very problematic.
The Imperial Guard will kill you.
Yeah. Oh, Jalki. Jalki are a giant pain, though. I mean, I remember I gave up on Wing Commander 2 with that first... one of the first missions you do with Hobbs and the Rapiers against the Jalki, and it just is annoyingly frustrating. I believe that's the one Mike got stuck on that on his last replay for a while, and it's not hard, it's just one of those damn things.
It's a pain, you know, it's really a process of getting used to yourself, because you want to just ram right up in them.
Yeah.
And you really have to take it easy.
Yeah. Nope. Argus, I can't. The whole thing is we talk about something unrelated, and he just falls into his zone, and then chimes in every now and then. That's what we've discovered. It appears the way to unlock some of the secret powers to allow these things to go. That was just mean. I feel like that guy rammed you. That wasn't really you ramming him.
No, that was me. I hit Afterburner.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay, because I say he seemed to jump really close.
Requesting assistance, sir. Requesting
assistance,
that
guy.
Sir.
Oh, we got some new heads.
It's a real potato man.
That really is a real potato head.
Sir. Requesting assistance, sir. Requesting assistance, sir.
He's apparently having a very bad day. Oh no, we lost one. It doesn't matter though.
Oh,
it matters, but
well, that's not good. That's not good. I actually haven't read Freedom Flight in a while, so I don't remember the fashion trends of the rockets. Trying to remember what's her name? Hunter's friend. Kaya? Kaya? Yeah.
Sorry, what was the question about?
I was. They were asking, tell us about fashion trends of the Fereckians.
Oh.
And I was trying to remember what Kaya, because they do describe it. I feel like what she wears at some point with her feathers. And when she does the fire.
Oh, the fire dance thing. Yeah.
Fire, I think that's when they have some type of...
Admiral Tall wants to see you in his office immediately.
10 minutes later. That makes it. We're just trying to get out in sync. How could Jazz Coleman have escaped? Sorry, wrong voice. How could Jazz Coleman have escaped?
I couldn't leave those freighters undefended, sir. And there was no way I could have anticipated the situation aboard the Bastille.
No one blames you what happened, but we are very concerned, Maverick.
Oh, that seems counter.
Just prior to the escape, Jazz sent us a transmission. You need to hear what that transmission says. You need to hear it right now.
Very dramatic.
Yeah, it's hard to get the British.
It was very touching to see my old friend Maverick escorting me to my execution. The last time we crossed paths, Blair, you were lucky. The next time we meet, you'll be dead.
He's like your nerdy little bully friend.
Like, and why does really need to see that? I mean, he's like an internet troll. He doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just like how Jazz also had his helmet, his flight helmet with him apparently on the prison ship.
That is a good point.
Right. I guess they need all.
Kablameth, Karathi HQ, Deneb Sector.
Oh, we gotta do these voices now, huh?
Yeah, get your voice ready.
All right. Why is it slow on some of the lines and then it rapid fires others?
My spies tell me you attacked civilian targets. Was this out of cowardice?
We attacked a human colony only after decimating the entire 6th battle fleet. The enemy will never forget the death and destruction we caused after our victory.
Consider their everlasting misery a tribute to my emperor.
I am touched. What else do you have to report?
That I love you, Grandpa. But he was liberated by the Mandarins. There was a line about jazz I couldn't read fast
Coulson could
enough.
prove useful in gaining the Morning Star prototype. Attend to it.
Once the Mandarins convene, I shall report again.
I would remind you of one thing, Prince Drakath. Fear is our most effective weapon against our enemy. Continue to use it well.
Fly mission.
What was it like? What was some of the lines going so fast?
I don't know. These are kind of buggy. You know,
Yeah.
there was the B team putting these together.
Yeah.
Cannibal sector. Deneb sector. Cannibal system Deneb sector.
Even more buggy this evening, I see.
Briefing room. TCS Concordia. 0500 hours. What voice am I doing?
Alright, we got.
We have just entered the Deneb sector. The present location and status of our enemy is unknown. There is only a standard recon patrol, but watch your six. Engage the enemy at your discretion, but be sure you make it back to report what you find.
Your listeners angel gives out the rest of the assignments.
You definitely notice a difference, too, in the writing in this.
Maverick, you and Stingray will do a flyby of your nav points. That is all. Good luck and good hunting. Dismissed.
I remember when I first played this, Stingray has, he's the shit ejecting!
Yeah.
And I remember being so scandalized. I mean, what was I was 11 or 12? Oh my god, I can't let my parents hear this. Turns out they don't care.
Nope.
Alright, let's do
They probably said, "What that son of a bitch say?"
Hey, target practice.
Yes, Stingray.
Oh good, this one also has Gothry.
Let's go kick ass.
Hey, guess what? Look at that slide that Gothry's got away with 2 on you, huh? Oh, hello!
By the way, this, since it's possible to own one of these and not the other, the Gothry files are duplicated, and I think the stats are slightly different.
Oh, that's good. Let me guess, it's harder in Special Operations mode.
Yes, the Gothry are slightly easier.
For an old man.
I say Stingray is being a real jerk. I feel like a good chunk of your damage is a mix of him and that other Gothry.
Yeah, he seems to go for whichever one I'm going for.
Yeah, well, I've been wanting your rear shields. Like you'd see him drop back, and then your shields would disappear. So yeah, yeah.
Stingray, you want to take care of this?
I know, like
no, you just want to be in the way.
Yep. That's even more annoying. You know, how come they don't ever get the turn on you thing? Oh my goodness.
That didn't go well, but I'm surprised I survived.
I'm also surprised you survived. I mean, everything exploded and went out.
You're doing well until everyone died.
Hey, target practice.
All right, let's see what we got. Uh-oh, that looks big.
You know, I don't think it's that bad.
No. Oh, what is it like? It's hard to tell so far. What this really shows is also it's been a little too long since I played these. Because I was in the middle of a Wing Commander 2 playthrough, and I think... No, I'm at Tithrak Main. And that's why I was like, you know what, this one's going to be one that's going to take a few tries. And then I just haven't gotten back to it yet.
Not bad for an old man.
It's not to say, though, I still have been playing a lot of Heart of Iron 4 as well. I conquered all of the Arabian Peninsula last night. Which doesn't help me conquering America, but, you know.
Well, you got oil now.
Oh, I got oh man, I got so much oil it's not even funny. It's actually kind of, it's ridiculous, but I don't have enough steel. I gotta import it from the Hungarians and the Germans.
I'm out of here.
I think I didn't, what country did I made? The Socialist Republic of Ecuador, maybe? Because I made Peru my friend. Good old fascist Peru.
Time to die, human.
I don't know what America's actually doing in my game either. I haven't seen their fleet forever. Is this helping you at all? I'm hoping this is going to give that good jive. No.
Why is he running away?
Well, he probably thinks, look at that guy. He's just going to explode if I look at him. Wait, that's a Dorcathy!
We haven't done that bit on this show yet.
No, we haven't found a good... You know what's kind of dumb? It would probably kind of almost work for Privateer 2. Because who knows? Maybe there's a Dorcathy player ship. We've all forgotten them. Who knows if it's in there somewhere? It's always fun to blow up transports, though.
I saw this transport. Like, oh, is that the Gal John? Am I supposed to capture it? But I think that might be a mission or two from now.
Come on, just go.
Yeah, why won't this thing pop?
I was gonna say, just shoot your missiles at him at this point, huh?
I did. I shot both my dumbfires at it.
Oh yeah, and you just have heat seekers left.
But heat seekers and a friend or foe. But I figured I would save those in case there was
yeah,
something else.
Yeah.
Finally.
What was more annoying was it looks like the missile hit the front end, and that always used to drive me crazy because I'd be like, oh, now I have to I have to fly around to hit the front end because I'm not gonna now waste all this time on the other armor.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, no, there's a lot.
Oh, come on!
Oh, this is about to get ugly. This is about to probably get ugly. Easy there, don't break the old Warthog! Oh, man.
You're vulnerable.
No, that thing's a home defense system.
Oh.
Wasn't that a Dorcathy with a laser gun? Yeah, it does have a turret, I believe. With it has 2 lasers, I think, if I remember correctly. What are you trying to figure out here?
I was trying to skip the asteroids, which seems possible.
Oh, alright.
Now that I think about it.
Hey, target practice.
Yeah, sometimes those tricks are needed. Why can't you be like your privateer friends?
Yeah, all that afterburning would have killed them.
Yeah. What is it? I think about 4 MREX for Gothry Privateer.
I don't know. I didn't use missiles like that, man.
Oh, I did. When it comes to certain things like that, when you kind of trying to rapidly do it, you mostly use it on Talons just to get it over with.
I used them on the escort missions, and that was it.
No, I would use it if I would typically try to avoid it unless I wanted to just get through it real quick, or I was annoyed and I was like, I don't want to be shooting these guys. But there was one with a rapid fire laser. I don't think the Dorcathy had a laser or a rapid fire forward.
What, the Dorcathy?
Yeah.
No, it's got flak guns.
Okay, flak round. Oh, it was a flak rounds exploding, not laser cannons.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Listen, I don't have to tell you. I mean, I feel like missiles are precious commodities, except in Privateer.
It's because we all listen to Chrono. I get hit by missiles without piloting.
Yeah, well, I think with it's just you have 20 of them, so it's like it's pretty difficult to run out of them unless you get in some of those deep doo-doo missions, which are then problematic. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, oh, look, and he's after. Look, he just did like a Seether move in your face. You see that?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna watch it on this now again. Ah! Oh.
Hey, target practice.
And here what were we saying at the start of this mission?
It's easier.
Yeah. You know, sometimes it's the little things though. It's like, you know, you're in a rapier, but then you don't have your
ATTS.
Yeah, your lead indicator, and it just suddenly you're not as good as you were a minute ago. Even though you probably know pretty well where to estimate shooting.
Not bad for an old man. I'm out of here.
Yeah, but then you know what, Mike? My big thing is if it misses, I get very angry because I think, why did I just waste that missile? And it bothers me more than it should. Like I definitely notice that when I fire a missile and it misses, then I'm just like, seriously, and I just watch the dot fly away or burn around, and I get very angry. When you really shouldn't. It's one of those things where it's like I always try to get the perfect firing solution too. I don't want anybody to be able to shoot it down. I don't want, you know, random flak or somebody to fly into it. I tend to be, I overthink those, I bet. Because there's nothing, and then if, God forbid it's a torpedo run and the torpedo gets shot down, then I just can't take it. I just fly stuff. Right. Yeah, no, not a... But then also, I would say, like in Wing Commander 3, when we have our choice of loadouts, I almost always go all Imrex, because I want that extra bit of damage potential they have compared to, like, the Friend or Foes. I don't think I ever really use Dumbfires. And the only time I would use Dumbfires is on a
We shall destroy Terra.
That's actually what I use a lot of.
Not Terra.
Missiles. I use a lot of missiles in Wing Commander 3 on capital ships. There's no cap ship quite like the Kilrathi Corvette. The Kamrani? Is that what we called it?
Kamrani, yeah.
Yeah, Kamrani. Because God, that freaking tachyon turret. You were on a groove. I was hoping that
I was doing well.
I thought that the chat about missiles and guns would keep you in the zone. Yeah.
Hey,
it did go down a lot faster that time. Yeah. But yeah, I used to.
Hunter Stingray had damaged at that time.
Oh, there you go. He did some work. Right. Yeah, in Wing Commander 3, I like to use a lot of missile. I'll put dumbfires on if I know I'm doing some of the heavy cap ship missions. Because that used to be one of my favorite things in Wing Commander 3, would to try to do all the missions where you see the various Kilrathi cap ships, and then the one later in the game. God, I want to say it. Hyperion 2 or 3, or if to escort the big boys mission. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, that's a great mission.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like watching the Ajax and the Frothy 2 just trade rounds. Although I think that you don't get. Oh no, they do use the heavy destroyer in that one, right? Isn't that I feel like the second nav point?
Yeah.
The bottle opener. The Relax.
No problem, sir.
Relarax. Thank you. I knew it was something with the axe in there.
Hey, watch it!
Yeah, the good old bottle opener one. Won't see any of those here. Instead, we're gonna deal with we got our standard Lothas, Fralthas, Starbases, Dorcathis, and Lions and Tigers, oh my. It's just folding under. Just folding under. Salty Sarthies.
I did it, sir. I got a Drakring.
That's great. Jim Conklin's dead.
Man, she
anyway.
went up like a tinderbox.
How do you know? He could have been the next Tolan. No, the Rapier 2 does not have ITTS.
Yeah, apparently you could not get a software update.
Yep.
Time to die, human. Smoke one.
It's supposed to be you have those better guns and everything and shields that you don't need that lead indicator. Well, you definitely do. Yes, I'm also a big fan of walking.
Affirmative.
I think.
To land.
Do you, when you don't have ITTS, do you lock just for the sake of going after the same ship?
Essentially, yeah. I like to do one at a time, otherwise their shields are going to regenerate, and I'm going to...
Because Mufasa was asking, since you don't have it, why are you locking him? It's, yeah, I'm the same way. I hope you gave good words to him.
I saw you working on that saber earlier. Nice fuselage.
Wow, thank you, Colonel.
I was talking about the saber.
If you think that's something, wait till you see the new Morning Star. I don't know what kind of accent I'm giving her.
A Morning Star? What's that?
Word is, it's the new Confed fighter. They're supposed to shake it down on the Concordia.
Isn't that where we are?
Where'd you hear that, Sparks?
Sometimes you just have to listen. So, was it a rough patrol, Colonel?
Not bad. I took out 5 enemy fighters. And there was a Dorcathi at Nav 2. It's history. Wasn't enough to make up for losing Jazz Coulson, though. I wish I'd killed that bastard when I had the chance.
Well then, a little flirtation going on. Sparks just really is looking for someone. That's all. And Sparks will be waiting, unfortunately, quite a long time to find that special someone.
Maniac, you old dog. What are you doing here? I don't know what's happened to my voice.
That's Major Todd Marshall now, Maverick. I'm in command of the Wild Eyes.
Eagles.
Eagles. I just like those stoned eyes.
We're the hottest test pilots in the galaxy. We've got a job to do. Shake down this new fighter, the Morning Star. Maybe we'll let you watch as we punch a hole in the galaxy.
Your Morning Star sounds more like an impressive craft.
Thanks, Dad.
Just be sure you win the war and plenty of time for lunch. That's kind of cool if you are like into like the overarching like Wing Commander history. It's Blair and Maniac meeting again for the first time since 2656.
Yeah,
when Blair visited him in the hospital, and that's just crazy.
Yeah, then here's Maniac with super stoned eyes.
Yeah, hey. Maniac's certainly. Maniac's arc is fantastic.
He is a fellow. Yeah, yeah. It's interesting that he goes back.
Major Marshall and Colonel Blair report to the bridge immediately.
Major, Lieutenant Burke reports Captain Grimaldi's ship didn't make the jump. Captain Grimaldi's ship had jump problems, but they were supposed to be fixed before departure. I guess I'll make him like a speedhead. The Morning Star doesn't yet have the ability to rescue an ejected pilot. She's had it.
Sir, there's a Saber ready on the flight deck now. I volunteer to go retrieve the captain.
You're just like, you don't insult me.
Admiral, this is one of my squadron. I request to fly the Saber.
In the future, Major... Oh, wrong voice. I advise you to keep better track of your squadron. Good luck, Colonel Blair. I don't know what voice to give Maniac.
I keep wanting to make a joke about how the Morning Star is a vegetarian alternative to... but... And of course, the really exciting thing about the Morning Star is the Mace missile, which is a giant nuclear weapon that
everybody loves nukes.
Yes.
Especially Dr. Forstchen.
I think another doc is going to talk about nukes.
Oh.
Or maybe that's next week. I don't know.
You never know what Dr. Burroughs will be up to. He's always busy in his lab. These little SOBs. Just torpedo launching machines. It's interesting that, you know, the Korathi don't have their gigantic kind of broadsword or crossbow-esque bomber. You know, the Gurkhath is decent size, but it's extremely skinny, which makes it annoying. Gonthri is good size, but I don't ever get the impression it doesn't give me the same feel as the gigantic of the Morningstar, the broadsword.
Not bad for an old man.
Yeah, I mean, nothing to like the Paktans in Arena.
Yeah.
I guess the Goran is beefer of a boy.
Yeah, that's pretty, yeah.
In fact, I think it's one of the largest fighters.
Yeah, the Goran is...
numerically.
That one definitely gives you the, that impression. I mean, the Coral R kind of does. But yeah, there's not... you don't see any of the main games with that same kind of gigantic. And the Paktan in Wing Commander 3 is not that much bigger than everything else. So you don't always notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going off the side of an asteroid field, so I saw like one asteroid, and I know if I hit afterburners too much, there we go.
Next thing you know, you've got a new windshield.
Hey, target practice.
Look at all of them just stacked up. At least you know you're in the save. Oh, they ran. Oh, excellent. At least one or two guys rammed.
Not bad.
Or that was Stingray, which I can't imagine.
No, I think two of them rammed. There were so many that.
Yeah, they're all stacked like that. That's always great when that's like an extra special treat. You know, it doesn't have. If you try to play the mission over and over again, it probably won't happen again 5 or 6 times. But oh, you will have a bad day. You have a there's somebody who really dislikes you behind. Oh, look at that. Those are the great deflection shots. That's something like Jimmy Thatcher would do. Or Jimmy Flatley.
Or Lord of the Dance?
Or Butch O'Hare. Well, that would be, yeah, the Grakoth is shorter than the torps it launches. I'm not sure how big. I forget the length of those torpedoes. I just remember in Fleet Action they become 30 feet long or something. Well, that's not good. You're lucky that gentleman bounced off your windscreen, sir.
There's no mast to the ejected pilots, so you can fly right through them if you want. I mean, in fact, it's a good trick for lining them up perfectly. You fly straight through the pilot, and then it'll be right back. You fly straight through, hit backspace, and there you go.
Fly straight, no need to fly right.
Oh yes, the asteroid field. Will we actually see it this time?
Well, there she is.
Yeah.
There's one,
two.
Oh,
God, are we like right at the edge?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well,
hey, listen. After this, you know, we're not going to see that many asteroids until we get into Privateer. We'll see some, but they won't really matter anymore. Which is kind of one of those things that it is like, because if you try to do it in 3D, you'd need so many asteroids that it would just be annoying, and your machine would probably catch on fire. We're trying to draw all of them. My God, the Concordia is upside down.
Well, that was pretty good. One try on that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh, you haven't landed yet. I was going to say, huh?
It really is just a matter of getting used to the game again, and then you really cut through it.
Here's a question I have for you. Given how often we tend to see our home carrier upside down, is there any coding reason for that, or any weird bug error? Or?
No, it's just because it's a 3D in space, so it...
Thank you, Colonel Blair, for helping me out.
Sexier.
Oh, sexy, sorry.
Not a problem, Captain. I'm glad I could help.
At least that Morningstar prototype won't fall into enemy hands.
She is not attractive.
No, she doesn't look like me.
There was a self-destruct device on board that activated when I ejected from it. By the way, Colonel, you can call me Maria. My call sign is Minx.
Minx, what went wrong with your jump drive? Blair is the least horny man in the world.
Apparently, the engineer self found the cause of that random jump failure.
She got very green eyes.
Sounds like the Morningstar has a bad case of gremlin infestation.
These really don't sound like that. It's just funny that, you know, it's almost, I don't want to say drastically different, but the tone of the characters is sometimes a bit off.
Yeah.
Yes, her lips...
TCS Concordia, observation deck, 2130 hours.
Yeah, her lips did look very weird, like she bit them. And so after I destroyed the two capsules single-handedly... Say, did I ever tell you about the story about how that happened? I'm reading them too fast.
Yes, you did.
Well, anyway, after that I was promoted in Asia. It was great. Actually, they wanted to make me a colonel, but I turned her down to command the Wild Eagles.
What exactly is this Wild Eagle Squadron?
They're an elite group of test pilots under my command. They want me to train them how to fly exactly like I do in combat. Yes, the earring is a bit interesting.
You mean Combat High Command actually approves of training pilots to fly the way you do?
Someone already said the Wild Eagles may be the model for the fighter pilot of the future.
Skull earrings.
Yeah.
You know, Todd, people say a lot of things.
It's true! And that's why we have the Morningstar. What's weirder about the skull is like the bottom of it, the teeth. The fighter pilots of the future need a fighter of the future. What? So the Morningstar was built to some of my specifications. It has special capabilities that I can't even talk to you about. Just keep watching me, pal. What you'll see is history in the making.
So you can tell that they had a new artist do a bunch of these talking heads. They reused two of his wingmen from the background group from the others, but Maniac and Minx are both... I already saved that.
Yeah.
Maniac and Minx are both new art, and you can tell they're not replicating the style exactly. Colonel Devereaux's office.
No, they're like...
As the Morningstar still appears to be plagued by random jump failures, I would like Maverick to accompany one of the Wild Eagles on a test jump. There will be a special jump recorder on board that may give us the necessary data to correct the problem. I believe Crossbones will be the most appropriate pilot for this mission.
He knows how to press the J key well.
Colonel Devereaux, I request to fly the test jump myself. If anything's going to happen to a pilot in the Morningstar, I want it to happen to me first.
Weird.
If you feel so strongly about this, Todd, then I have no objection. Maverick, meet Maniac at Nav 1. Watch him jump out, patrol your nav points, and return home. Dismissed.
Why am I meeting him at Nav 1? Why don't we just both go together?
I don't know. Just sometimes you gotta do, fly around and do stuff.
Any questions from the,
Can the O deck not be occupied during flight because of duty stage? Because there's no...
I would imagine that the giant windows would be problematic, and there's no battle stations in there. And really, if you're at full alert, you should be at your battle station.
Well, there's Maniac. There's the Morningstar, our first look.
Maniac... Oh, yeah, you can... Oh, that would have been bad if you rammed him. Look at that.
Oh.
And he has...
Really looks like leftover assets from Strike Commander.
Did he... Oh, I was going to say, he just did that like the interesting. I was like, why did he pause for you to get a glory shot there? And no, he was jumping out.
The jump.
He was just doing the jump.
We are the Gameljan, a Karathi freighter from Hellas. We are unarmed and have severe engine trouble. Do not shoot. We surrender.
This is the Kilrathi they were talking about.
Concordia, I have a disabled Karathi freighter in my target sights.
This is exactly what they were talking about.
I'm not reading any weapons on it, awaiting further orders.
Maverick, this is Major Edmund. Remember me? Your orders are to leave the freighter. We're sending a patrol to retrieve it.
I'll make her a little angrier.
Continue your patrol, Maverick.
Nice, free freighter. Affirmative, Concordia. Maverick out.
But yeah, Maniac's hair, I think, is even, his eyes are ridiculous, yes. His earring is ridiculous. But his hair actually is what bothers me the most. Because that's a very distinct, like, early 90s haircut. Actually, I believe we may have seen that before, like, in your 90210 launcher, because that's clearly a haircut that has to show up that style of, like, the weird long mop and then shaved up underneath.
By the way, notice that...
oh, look, there's stacks of fighters again.
If I had tried to fight... if I had gone and fought that destroyer, that transport, even though... it appeared as a target and I couldn't autopilot. But if you then go and attack it, even though you're theoretically not supposed to, you will lose the game. Because you need that. Oh, two of them rammed each other.
Yeah, well, geez, I mean... It's funny that now as we look back at this and you mentioned how we talked about this was the B team doing some of these, you see some of the kind of easy outs they took. I mean, this is the second mission we've seen so far that has multiple fighters literally just stacked up.
Yeah, and you don't want to totally be... Oh, gosh. You don't want to totally go, oh, these guys are awful.
No, it's...
developing a game like this, Origin did not document anything. So it wasn't like, oh, here's the manual for how to do this. It was, hey, here's the tools we made at 3 a.m. 12 months ago. We don't know how they work either.
Yeah. And it's like, well, we don't have time to go back into the mission and see how you coded those appearances, so we're just going to have them all appear right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to how with those details you figure out what's behind it, because it's such a drastic thing too by comparison to what we see in the rest of the game, and even in Special Operations 1. I don't think we encountered that in 1. I don't remember.
No, because it's a different group of folks.
Yeah. Oh. Just a bit outside.
Alright, let's try that one more time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, one more time is probably a good, because then we just crossed our beta goal.
Oops.
Oops, what the fludge did you just do?
I was having that keyboard problem, so I was trying to alt out. And in fact, yeah, we lost keyboard control, so let me I would say let's leave it at that, but I want to try one more time.
Alright, I will, yeah, I know you're not going to let that sit like that, so alright. We did think that we were going to hit our alpha goal of 2 hours today, but
No, not happening.
No.
But we've had so much fun. We sang a song.
We sang a freaking song. My goodness gracious. Yeah. Well, we'll keep working on our flow and our design of these things. Because the thing is, usually what happens is Ben will put in a few ideas saying, oh, we should look at this, this, and this. And then I'll look in like 3 hours at the document you used to plan stuff, and there's 17 things where there was 3. That happens a lot. But that's alright. Oh, those jokey bastards. How did you just... The fact that you just went through that and somehow did not get rammed by anybody was impressive. Nope. No, you didn't ram him. Interesting. Just missed him. Harak! Oh, that did, I saw that. That literally just put a hole in your forehead.
Missile to the face.
Yes, missile to the face. Oh, that's not good. Only if he had gone shopping at Gar's, he wouldn't have had that happen. He could have bought improved things. Because of you, we know he survives.
Yeah. I think it's pretty clear in the intertext of the book that he's going to survive.
Yes. He might just lose his giant cargo container Hulk in there. Yeah. Well, he's no. I thought he was running. He's not. He's not. Yeah, Minx also was a very interesting. One thing I do notice about this, though, is that it seems that when they're writing the characters, they have them, like, 85% on. Because there's sometimes, like, Blair has lost a lot of his, oomph.
Oomph?
Yeah, he has no chutzpah. He's just like, hey, Maniac. Or maybe that's just the effect Maniac has on him, since Maniac's such an idiot.
Yeah, I think he's just supposed to be fed up with Maniac. He's just not he's not having any of it.
Yeah. What's funny is I like how Maniac has jumped. Oh, he's doing in-system jumps, right?
No, he's come back or something.
Oh, that's because... Oh, so I'm... Duh.
Because I flew... I
you restarted
first. So.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But that should be it. That should be it for this mission. Just a bunch of jockey to kill by yourself.
Affirmative, you are clear to land.
Hey, it's the major... It's the B in the comm room. Oh, look at that runway. Although I don't... It's weird how the colors change when they get to that one spot. Welcome back, sir. Looking mighty fine.
Admiral Tolan's office, TCS Concordia.
Alright. Fine bit of luck discovering that Kilrathi freighter. Where that voice is. We've rescued the crew and searched the ship.
Rescued?
They had jettisoned their cargo into the sun, and their logbook is a blatant forgery. We'll never know what they were carrying, but we made one discovery. They had a human crew member. I'm not getting British.
He must have been captured and forced into slavery.
Not so. This crewman was willfully working with the enemy. He's a Mandarin. The Mandarin movement has become increasingly militant in recent months. The tactics have changed from misguided pacifism to passive treason, and now aggressive collaboration. Passive treason.
Passive treason.
Passive treason. We've long suspected their direct ties to the Kilrathi, and this is the first concrete evidence of it.
They've got to be stopped.
Okay.
Which did it, because we learned in Fleet Action that Kilrathi transports are considered the worst of the worst.
Yeah, they're the dumps. Which I guess explains why that coward would then surrender so easily.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you flying?
Oh, I did not mean to fly.
I was going to say, yeah.
We'll see that broadsword mission next time.
Yes.
Well, you know what it's time for now?
Yes, I do.
The cargo bay! Alright, we got some fun stuff to share this time around.
Let's see. What do we got? What do we have?
We got this right here.
We got this. Ooh, we have a very, very thin card.
This is called a VidPro card. If you ever shopped at like Toys R Us in the early 90s and you wanted to buy a video game...
It's all of us, man.
Yeah. If you wanted to buy a new video game, you would go to like this wall of little pouches and be like, oh, here's the card for Mario Brothers.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then you would take it up to like the cage at the front and they would get it out for you after you paid. So these things are called VidPro cards. They were run by a company in Texas.
Dallas and Canada.
Yeah.
Toronto.
And so every game that Toys R Us would sell would have one of these cards. And they're now sort of like an aftermarket collectible thing. There are all sorts of people who, you know, there are some unreleased games that have cards for them. Mm-hmm. And there are also some... you know, the popular stuff, Mario and Secret of Mana and what, I don't know why I picked that, but F-Zero. So, obviously people aren't chomping at the bit to collect Wing Commander, and they're a little bit hard to find. When they do show up, super cool. I've got a Wing Commander 1 I've got a Super Nintendo Wing 1, I've got a Wing 3 3DO, and now I have a PlayStation Wing 3.
Yeah.
And I know there's a Wing 4 PlayStation. There's probably a Secret Mission Super Nintendo. There's probably a Super Wing Commander 3DO. There may be a Sega CD, but who knows? The other system, not every Toys R Us stocked PlayStation games. They stocked Super Nintendo games. Very few stocked 3DO games. The 3DO VidPro cards are especially tough to find.
Interesting.
But yeah, VidPro card. Who knew? Next up, we have a couple of CD-ROM demo discs with the Wing Commander 3 and 4 demo, and I mostly got it because the CD-ROM today one has an amazing cover. We'll share that with the world.
That is very nice. Happy Blairmas, everybody.
His name is Christopher Blair.
I like
You
Blairmas.
very easily could have gone with Christmas.
I don't like that. That one's been taken.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Blair.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
This is like our musical episode.
I guess so.
I
guess so. Here's on the back for you. Yeah. Oh, it's got PC and Mac. And then there's just this one, which has nothing exciting. It's just red and silver.
Alright, now I've got this magazine, it just has a little Wing Commander strategy guide in it. I thought it was cool. We'll scan that, we'll get it online.
You didn't mention how this man is enjoying his life in his convertible, though, at the bottom.
Well, that's Test Drive the Passion.
Yeah! That's clearly him not in the wind. DuckTale. Oh, look at that.
DuckTales? Woo!
Woo! DuckTales at the bottom. And much more. A Signal Research publication. Okay. What a world we used to live in.
Okay, you want a really stupid one?
Do I?
No.
I want more. Oh my god.
So here we have a bunch of 1997 punk magazines.
I was going to say, what is this, a college newspaper?
It's like zines. It's a bunch of zines. So last time we were talking about Cobalt 60, and I had mentioned that I had found... Transcending the Mundane. I had found this listing on Discogs for a Cobalt 60. It was like a mix album from this zine with a Cobalt 60 track that was labeled as unknown. And I couldn't find the CD for sale anywhere.
Get it? I hate God. Oh, they're so
for
witty.
a couple of bucks, I got a whole stack of these magazines, including the one that came with the CD.
You didn't get a crate for a couple of bucks of these things?
So what I was able to figure out is that it is in fact not even the same Cobalt 60. It is a different band.
You didn't mention
called
this to me
Cobalt
earlier.
60 that happened to be releasing music in 1997. So it's not a Lost Wing Commander CD. It's just another band with the same name. And if anyone out there is into this sort of thing, you're welcome to these. Hit me up. It's all metal. I think it's metal. It's metal themed.
Yeah, it seems like a little bit of like I see Megadeth, Slayer talks about. It's that type of stuff. I mean, I hate God.
And it's super cool if you're into that, and I like seeing the passion that went into this, but it's not something I need to collect. So anybody out there wants several issues of Transcending the Mundane magazine,
if this one doesn't scare you, you're already dead.
Yeah, because I can't stand to throw this stuff away when I buy it, and it doesn't matter. But we had to figure it out.
Tone that'll wake the dead at a price that won't kill you. Okay. Well, I'm not going to flip through the rest of these. That was just 2 of them.
So here is something from Billy Kane's auction. Billy Kane was a producer of Wing Commander Prophecy and a bunch of other Origin games, and he's been selling a bunch of stuff to raise money for charity on eBay. He's got all sorts of cool stuff on his eBay store. When I have money, I have a little extra money, I'll buy what I can afford. And this one is a bunch of storyboards created by Mark Bard for Prophecy for 2 different cutscenes.
Ooh.
And you can just give him a general idea. I've got a slideshow of pictures of them, so we don't have to hold them up.
Sure, because how many are here? There's... how many pages? Quite a few.
Yeah, it's 8 pages. It's two different sets of boards.
Okay.
And here you can see them up close.
I'll just give you this, and then we'll just hold the last one.
There you go.
Nope. Look at that! Look. Oh, it would have been cool if it was the same one.
So this first one is the losing end game where Nephilim capital ships destroy the Midway. And it's laid out a little bit differently than the final cutscene, but that was it. The cutscenes coming from the Midway and then destroy it. The second one is a scene that does not appear in the game, which is following the player's Panther as it zooms down the length of the Midway and blows up an alien ship.
Okay, yeah, that's this one.
And there were no fighter-specific cutscenes in Wing Prophecy, so that was something that was cut, which is super interesting to see. I'll get high-res scans of all these up, but I wanted to share also. I've got the.
Yeah, they're kind of big. There's not much to them, but you immediately get the sense of what they're.
Yeah, it's a little bit of history.
Yeah.
But here is the cutscene that first one, the first 3 pages were the boards for. This is the losing end game. There's actually 2 versions of this. One where they come out of the worm, one where they're just coming at you. Pretty neat.
Your pants are broken. You split the seam, man. You split the seam of your pants.
All right, now we have one more thing that's kind of special this week.
Everything is special.
Everything is special. Now, who wants some pizza?
Hey, this...
Share, see if you can figure out how to share that. So... we talked about this last week. Wing Commander 3 Premier Edition.
Oh.
This was essentially the first modern collector's edition of a game. And it came in this giant cardboard pizza box. And you can show some of the stuff that's in there. I stupidly, as a teenager, I guess I was 13 or 14, so I wasn't. Of course, you're stupid when you're a teenager.
You were a teenager.
Anyway, I threw away the pizza box. So I finally found one with the pizza box. So this is a complete U.S. Wing Commander 3 Premier. It's got a VHS tape of the making of Wing Commander 3.
Sorry. Weird. And it's also the tape package is printed upside down because they taped.
They were new at this.
Yeah, they were definitely new.
And that was a 1995 calendar he was holding from him there.
Yes.
A Fleet Action, a fresh copy of Fleet Action.
Fresh.
Just what I needed.
Fresh. All right, you're trying to figure
And
it
then
out.
here's the big boy. This center thing is...
Ta-da!
It's in a film can to show how this was shot on film. It was not shot on film.
And then let me see if I can...
Let's see what's in there.
See if I can get this to stay and not all fall.
And it's just crammed with more stuff.
Yeah. Okay. And then
let me show what some of the stuff is.
Oh, certainly.
There's some interesting bits.
Certainly, I just want to go everywhere because we're precariously holding on the edge.
Oh, why don't you here? Take this out and you can put the rest down.
Yeah. Okay.
So you use your install guide reference card, business reply card, but here's where it gets a little interesting. The Warbirds poster is in color.
Ooh!
It was in black and white for the PC.
Yep.
But for the regular release, but the special one is in color.
Nice. I'm gonna steal.
We've got a little booklet for the making of CD-ROM.
Hello, I've dated all you
advertisements
girls.
and Victory Streak. We have a folded up Wing Commander 3 poster.
I like how you kept your composure during that.
And CDs, it's 6 CDs because it's 4 CDs for Wing Commander 3. It's got a CD version of the interactive movie making of. And last but not least, a sealed copy of Origin Soundtrack Volume 3. So I was really glad to get that.
This is beautiful.
And that also means that I have a copy that does not have the box, if anybody's interested in swapping. Out there. It also has the ugliest T-shirt ever made.
Very stiff.
The front is fantastic, but the back is...
Do you want me to unfold it?
Yeah, unfold that, because they have to see the ugliest T-shirt ever made.
Ladies and gentlemen. That was beautiful. That was a great
What
video.
is... That is nonsense.
That is
enjoyable nonsense.
Now I understand why it's so stiff. Oh my god. This is like light Kevlar. You could use this in combat. Like, this is...
Yeah, it's very solid.
That's the shirt.
And that is it for Cargo Bay this week. Hope you enjoyed that.
Looking at all your stuff.
And now we're going to come to our ending.
Okay, then I will leave all that and we'll put it together as we go to credits.
Well, so thank you guys all for tuning in. Sorry about the technical difficulties at the start. I'm sure that will just be an inevitable thing we'll learn to deal with better in the future. I'm glad it all worked out, though, because I was going to be really frustrated if we couldn't do this tonight.
You know, I feel like what it was, we got comfortable. We were sitting out there, we're like, oh, we can wait till this ends, then we can mosey on. We only need 5 minutes, hit the pre-roll, we're set. And then the universe punished us by saying, no, gentlemen.
So next week, we'll be having the next edition of Book Club, so we'll be reading chapters 2 and 3 of Fleet Action, and encourage everybody to join us for that. I know we always get the same group of folks in chat, and I love all those people to death, but anybody is welcome, and any opinion is welcome.
Yeah.
So please join us.
Yes, we'll figure out a system for better calling people out in there, so they're not just waiting for us. Everybody's hanging out.
And we'll be playing the next part of Special Operations 2.
Yep.
We'll be adding to our Privateer 2 song. It's going to be a good week. So thank you all for tuning in. I also wanted to say, if anybody out there has any questions for...
Gore Car Talk?
Gore Car Talk, yeah. We would love more topics to cover.
Yep. And then provide us feedback, what you'd like to see.
Yeah.
The CIC just put up a poll about segments. We're always curious for feedback. There's a thread up there. There's Ben's Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah, hit me up anywhere, anytime.
Yep.
We love talking about Wing Commander, no matter what.
We do. We are very grateful for all of you for sitting through our wonderful time, especially this evening. This evening was our musical program.
Yes. We will not do that again.
Nope. There will not be a song to close out.
Although here are the credits. Here's Dr. Burrows.
See ya.
I guess it just goes to show you that things can look a little odd when you add that super prefix. Even stranger than Super Wing Commander is the Super Guppy, a massive airplane made especially to transport space equipment. The Super Guppy looks like nothing so much as a regular airliner with an enormous forehead. It was first developed in the 1960s to help NASA transport lunar landers and other exploration vehicles from their factories to launch sites, and variants are used for this purpose today. In 2016, a modern Super Guppy carried the first prototype of the Mars Orion spacecraft to prepare for its test mission in Florida. See you on the next exciting episode of All Wings Considered.